Hey guys, I think we're doing it. I think we're live. Tell me in the comments if the audio works, if I sound too loud, too soft, or too whatever, I guess annoying. Let me know if the video is lagging at all. Do you guys know how hard this is to set up? This stream is one of the hardest things I've ever had to do in my life. This took so long. It took days to get all the right hardware. And I don't know. Now we're finally there. I think, how does the light look? How does it feel? You vibing? Great audio, great video. Perfect. Let's fucking cuss. Could I even cuss? I don't even know if I can cuss. That's going to be hard for me. I got a mic. I got a legit mic. This mic I have owned for 13 years. Isn't that crazy? And it still works because I almost never used it. I got some coffee. We're gonna get started. I'm just having a good time with you guys. We're getting warmed up. Good to know the sound is perfect. Okay, cool. This is so fun. So in a minute, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a little Discord. See, I got this. You have no idea how much work I put into this. And I even have an extra GoPro attached to my espresso machine. So not today, but in the future, because it's not set up right now, we can like change the camera to the espresso machine. And so we can like give you live critique and then show you the pour. It's just going to be so cool. The fact that I got everything going. I'm so excited. Also, my hair's a little wet, so you're just going to have to watch it dry in real time. Is anybody here in the chat from the Discord? Did anybody here actually submit your pours? Because I'm curious if I'm rating anybody who was there. The objective today, you may or may not be good at latte art. That's okay, because today we're going to pinpoint where you could do better or where you could do worse, or where you are doing worse. I uploaded my video with thermometer on Discord. Okay, well, we're just going to go in randomly. I don't know how. I'll probably know once I see the thermometer. Cool. I'm not ready, but one day I will probably submit to the gods of latte art. Guys, look at this. Look at these things. I love this kind of stuff, like silly little toys. I can't get it to work now that I want it to work. Have you ever seen these things? They're so cool. I got one on my own. Hope that wasn't too loud. And then my mom got me one, like on her own. On her own. She didn't even know I had one. She knows exactly my vibes. On my back table is a bunch of like toys, like fidget spinners and like cool toys. I get excited. Is it too late to join the Discord and submit one? It's not too late. You could go submit one right now. We are live, so I haven't even looked. I've looked at a few just to make sure they were good. Wait, did I ever show y'all that the Discord, I can do this? Look, I can do that. I don't think I showed you last time. Also, let me know in the chat if my camera dies, because I'm on a real camera. It's like an actual camera, and so sometimes the battery will die, but we should be good. Who's this? Who's this first pour right here? Who's that? Who's that? That cup's so pretty. Let's see if it looks any good. Who is this? Who could that be? That doesn't look like, honestly, that's a piece of garbage is what it is. Actually, that's my pour. This is the first pour I put on the, what's happening? Whoops. This is the first pour that I put on the Discord as like an example pour. Give everybody an idea. Now you can see I've like watched through a few of these just to make sure it was going to work for the live stream. And I think everything's working really well. I think y'all let me know if this is working. I'm just going to reiterate one more time how much work this was to set up. You don't understand how many cords. I want to show you. I wish I could show you, but we're not tethered to that camera. So, okay. You think my audio sync is slightly off? Off as in the audio is happening faster? Or as in the audio is delayed? Let me know, because I'm going to fix it right now. I think I can fix it right now. I'm gonna try. No, it's fine. It might be slightly off because, like, you have to understand when you're connecting a mic and you're streaming from like a camera and you're doing it through, I guess I'm using OBS, you know, there's a lot of lag in different things. Slightly delayed. Yeah, it's really hard. Slightly delayed. The audio is delayed. So the audio is delayed. Okay, let me see. I'm just going to try to fix it. Because I have it offset right now. I'm going to try one thing. Let me know if this... Okay. Okay, now this is so much fun. We're getting to do this together because this is how I test it for myself. As I just talk to the camera and I say nonsense like my mama used to tell me that you put a firecracker in a gopher's butt and something's gonna happen that you don't want it to happen. It's gonna get everywhere. How about now? How about now? How about now? So the audio should be faster. Did I make it worse? Once we get this fixed, now the sound is ahead. Okay, wait. It's worse. Okay, okay. Okay, so we were in the right direction originally. So you want to try something like... let me see. Sorry, y'all. I'm just trying to fix it. Just trying to fix it. Try this. Okay, I just changed it again, and everyone's now saying it's better. Okay, so let me know now where we're at. In fact, actually, you know what? I can just listen to it. This is crazy. No, this is way worse. Okay. Okay. I think we're better. Okay, yeah, that looks good. That looks good on my end. What do you guys think? So hard. Streaming's no joke. Streaming is no joke, dude. I was like, I'm not gonna. I even had like a little, what's it called? Little title card. Did y'all see that? The little intro thing that took time to make. It was a whole thing. Got 35 people here. That's pretty good. Okay, let me know now, guys, because since the last time we updated it, I fixed it. I think. Testing, test. It looks good on my end. I don't know about y'all. We got kind of quiet in that chat. What you guys drinking? Okay, it's good. The Discord channel should be in the description. Ooh, I can hear my own shit. Just down a mug of hot chocolate. Yum! I love hot chocolate. It's my favorite. What kind of hot chocolate? Like watery hot chocolate or milky hot chocolate? Or like the thick hot chocolates. Damn, ran out of milk, so nothing. Okay, let's see how the Discord's doing. We're in it. I'm going to put that to the side. Y'all let me know if anything starts acting weird. Because things do act weird in lives. But let's get started. Let's knock down these pores. I guess we'll start with Kyle. I already peeked at this one. It doesn't matter which... Sorry, really quick. So Dan asked, should we do it in upload in portrait or landscape? It doesn't matter. Just... Sorry, my elbow itched. Just do it. Just upload something. And I'll try to watch it. We'll see. How does that look? That looks pretty good. Alrighty, let's see it, Kyle. Let's see it. I know Kyle, I think. If this is the right Kyle. Hey, solid push base so far. Solid ripple. Let's watch it all the way through first. Oh, yeah. Wait, we gotta go back to looking at it. Okay, so... I love that you included a photo because the photo really helps to show what I was going to comment about. There's a general asymmetry here. Now look, I'm going to come at you. I'm about to just nail into this pore real hard, okay? But I'm also sweet. It's going to be fun. You can just see the general asymmetry. Now, some things I really love about your pore was the push base. That was awesome. You landed backwards, which is what you're supposed to do. Most people don't know this, that you're supposed to land backwards. Because it's kind of like, there's not a good analogy for it. I'll show you with this coffee I got right here. I'll show you with the coffee. So you gotta like, if you're just gonna throw a push base, it's gonna get all choked up from the foam in front of it, and it's not really gonna go anywhere. But when you land, you're letting it kind of develop, and there's a bit of momentum behind the pore when you push it. So it's gonna like, not momentum, but there's like a bit of weight from the milk, and it's gonna like launch it a little easier. And you did that great. You landed backwards, which is exactly what you're supposed to do. I'll show you guys again. A little nervous. I see the shakes. It's okay. Land and then the push happens. So but you did it kind of quick. You can hold that a beat longer if you wanted to. And then you immediately start the ripples. Now the cool thing about this is that whenever you push a base, drift a base, set a base, moving forward in any direction one way or another, you're creating open space. And when you create that open space, you get these little pockets of brown right here in the middle, which is nice. That's what we want. We want the pop. Now, one thing that you did that's unfortunate is that you are not pouring straight into the cup. You are at an angle. You're like at a crooked angle here. Your pitcher is facing kind of closer inwards to your arm. And you can see this because when that happens, it means you're kind of biasing towards one side. And you're biasing towards the side over here that's closer to, I was going to say me, but I don't exist in this world. So away from you, you're biasing down here on the bottom. So you'll see it over here. There's going to be a pocket of brown that doesn't collect. That pocket of brown is going to come because your ripples are good, but you're doing them in this direction. Can y'all see my mouse? I don't know if I have that feature on right now. Anyway, you're doing it kind of in this direction instead of going straight into the base. Just a little asymmetry. And watch, you'll see it right here. Because you don't do that, you miss a few of these folds. And it's unfortunate because these folded in and these didn't. So you can't see the mouse. That's okay. We're not going to worry about it. We're just going to talk about it. We're just going to talk about it. We don't need to see the mouse. I'm not going to go into a long thing where I try to find the mouse. Maybe I could. No, we're not doing it. We've only got so much daylight, y'all. We've already done this for 20 minutes. We got 49 people. Let's go. Okay, so yeah, you can see the asymmetry because you're kind of leaning one way versus the other. And you also kind of landed a little asymmetrical too. You can see that right here in the thickness on the bottom half of your base's frame. But okay, so this next layer, first of all, I would tell you to start just a couple moments sooner, just so you can kind of have a little bit more room towards the end. You can see your cup's pretty much full at this point. Like you can fit a lot of stuff with that, but you could still have given yourself more room. And I love your ripples. I love how it all curls in. Just try to be a little more symmetrical when you land with your pitcher and your angle. And then this next layer, I think you can whip it a little more, which will get you more color, kind of like you did the first layer. And you do it in a good spot. You just see your cup's so full right here. If you were earlier in the filling up process, this would have worked for you a lot better. This would have been like an easier whip for you to do. But it's a little stiff now because you've waited so long. So the foam is kind of stiffened up over time. Unfortunately, it happens, but it's not a bad pour. It's still a really great pour. You just would see more stretch. You'd see more color. And you'd see more color in this little middle layer right here if you had whipped it harder and had started a little prior. Nice instinct to go back. Exactly where you landed is exactly where you want to be if you're, trying to add layers and do like some slight layer manipulation. That layer you should hold longer, but it looks like you were running out of milk. And then the sadness of asymmetry comes to bite us in the butt later in the pour when the base is asymmetrical on one side and gets sucked in on one side and doesn't on the other. It happens. It's just work on that asymmetry. I'm not going to ding you for the cut through because like I make messy cut throughs all the time. And also that cup is pretty full and I like a full cup and people dog on me all the time for my full cups and I love them. But yeah, I think if you just start a little sooner, like just a couple beats sooner, you won't have that issue. Like right here, I'll show you. So like integrate, stop. You stop just like a beat after I would. And even with that, that cup looks kind of small. Even with that, I still feel like you should be able to whip those layers around more. Your milk also looks kind of like a little on the thinner side there. Maybe add a little bit more, just a little bit more foam. Not bad pour though, really pretty. Let's move on. Sorry if I came too hard at you, Kyle. I'm going to be doing that. Should we just pick random ones? Chat. Should we pick random ones or should we go in order? There's a lot, guys. There's a lot. Like, look, it goes. Maybe we should do one from the bottom. No, not the direct bottom because that's going to be one of y'all. That's cheating. Should we do them in order? Let me know. We'll do it. We'll make the next one either random or whatever is in order. In order? I know that's what you're here for. We're going to do it. We're doing it. Maybe I can actually show you the mouse. I wonder if it's possible. I don't know that I want to like get all in that though. Stream output. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. It's not going to happen. In order. In order. In order. We got one vote, no order, one vote, in order. Can I do a poll? I think that's only on other apps. I don't know if you can do that in YouTube. Wait, I can. No, I can't. No, I can't. Ooh, wait, I can do a pop-out chat. Sorry, I'm learning about all this. Oh, I don't like that. Oh my gosh. Guys, I fudged it up. I messed it up on my end. It's okay. We're going to come back to you. Okay, we're fixed. We're fixed. Sorry. Okay. Technical difficulties. Leave me alone. It's a brand new one. Pick a colorful one. Or it's a brand new stream. I've never done this before. I've never done this. Okay. I was just trying to figure out how I can add the mouse, but I don't think I can. You only submitted yesterday. Probably won't get to mine. That's okay. We'll see what we can do. Okay, let's do another one. We're not going to dilly-dally. Is this one the pour? Okay, yeah. Oh, is that a tall cup? That's a tall cup. What a do, baby? It's the tall cup, Paul Wall. Nice. I like what you're doing here. Those ripples were really nice. Also, I'm going to pause this. Actually, I got to go back. I really liked that picture. That was pretty. Look at that color. That teal would look real good in videos if I had that picture. Someone send me that picture. Somebody do it. I'm not buying anything. I refuse to buy pictures at this point. I have drawers full of pictures. I refuse. So a couple things. I can't really tell from this angle if your cup is tall or not. It kind of looks tall. It might be like a cortado glass. It's just really, maybe it's a cupping cup. I can't really tell what's going on here. It looks like a tall cup though. And I would just say that you should be starting your, pour a lot sooner. So like you integrate, and I would even start right about there. The thing is you just have a tall cup, so you can't really tilt the cup and you can't get closer. What I'd recommend to you is to try to pour into something a little more shallow, a little more bowl shaped. It's like a classic kind of curvy cup in the middle. See, it's not too tall. Like the taller you get, something like this, it's going to be a lot harder for you to get close to the surface before the foam works against you. And that's really the issue, is the foam is working against you. Your foam actually looks really nice here. Maybe like a little bit on the creamier side, which is totally fine. You can make it work. But you just have, oops, I don't know what happened. Oh, I hit your thing. Okay. Goodness gracious. But yeah, I would just say your milk looks really good. You've worked really hard to get good milk here. Just try not to use such a tall mug. You can definitely get rounded cups that will do this easier for you, that are just as big. And you got to get closer to the surface when you start the initial base. You also threw a ton of milk in that initial pour. So like right here, it's really good. It is really good, especially because I can tell like what you're working against all the things that are really hard. Tall cups, kind of creamier. I did it again. I clicked it over again. Sorry. But in general, where were we? Right here. You got to get closer on this part by tilting the cup more towards your pitcher. And then you won't have to pour with such a heavy stream. You could even put your pitcher like in the second half of the cup and just start tilting at that angle, and you wouldn't have to use such a heavy stream to initiate that pour. However, I do love that you have open leaves, which means you're pulling back at a really nice rate. You have really beautiful wide leaves. You can get more of those leaves if you start a little sooner, tilt the cup a little more, and don't pour so heavy in the beginning, and kind of just take your time, fill it in, and just put like 30 leaves in there. And then you're like, freaking fall, baby. Leaves all over the ground. People are going to want to step on your latte. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. We're going to exit out of that one. Good job. Wait, here's one. Wait, is this a video? I need a video to know what you did. These are pretty good, though. I will say that. Did a good job. Thank you, Sophia, for submitting. That's awesome. Submit again. Submit again after you've done this so that we can see where your progress pours. Luna, let's go. Let's see what you got. Let's see what you got. Nice. Socks are cool. I can already tell you your milk's a little thin. I can already tell you that because like, or you're just like holding it back in the pitcher a little bit. Oh my God, no. It's happening. It's happening straight now. Oh yeah, we're happening. You got to come submit. There's still time. Okay, so right here, what I've noticed is that the milk looks a little thin. Let's see how it plays out. See, it's kind of warping at the bottom. It's just a little thin. Just a little thin. Gotta get a little bit more air in that milk in the beginning and let it kind of mix up. And you should be good, Luna, to not have to deal with that, that little warp at the bottom. However, you're like right there at that like perfect sweet spot of texture because you can see those colors in the middle are really nice. They have a little bit more foam to sustain them once you've started. And that's actually the kind of like look you're looking for. You're just a little on the thinner side. And you came in hot. You came in hot with thin milk because it's like a whole thing. But I could tell, I mean, I love your pants. I want those pants, actually. I could tell right here, like it looks thin. See how it's like all watery and stuff? And I could tell as soon as it left the pitcher because technically you should have more like foam coming out of that at that point, ideally. You land in a pretty okay spot. The thing is, you don't hold the base long enough if you're going to land in that spot. So like the thing about push bases is the deeper in the cup that you land for a push base, the less time you get to hold it and you can throw it pretty much immediately. You'll get a smaller frame, but you kind of have to do this because you're already so... What happened? There we go. I don't know what just happened. But you kind of have to do that because, oh, my headphones died. That's why that did that. Okay. I'm gonna pause this so I can talk to you because I'm all over the place. What was I saying? Oh, push bases. Sorry. ADD's killing me. Okay. So when you land to do the push base, you're landing backwards, right? You're like landing backwards. The higher in the cup towards where the top heart's going to be. If you hold that there, then you can develop it longer, like right where you did. See, you held it right there at the top. And when you do that, you're going to create this broader giant frame, right? It's going to be a giant frame. You have to hold it, take a beat, and then kind of throw it. The reason you have to hold it is because you're throwing it so far to the back that it's going to lose a little bit of its structure. And sometimes it'll actually break against the back wall or like against the crema in between it and the back wall. It's just not enough weight to it. That's why you want a broader frame if you're going to go to the top of the cup before you do a push base. If you go to the middle of the cup, you're already in the middle of the cup. And so you don't have to push it as hard. So you can initiate it really quick. It doesn't have to be a heavy push base. And you get a smaller frame, but you get more time to do the ripples. I do something kind of like this. I actually do kind of I do both. What am I lying to you guys? I do both. I just flip-flop whether I want a thick frame or I want a thin frame and more space. But yeah, with thin milk, it's not going to work. You could have made it work if you had held that one beat longer. So like hold it, then push. But you kind of, you also kind of started by like landing at an angle going in. Like watch. You could have landed a little more on the surface backwards without it being so like level. I can't really show you without the mouse. Anyway. It is a really good base. I'm not trying to tear it apart. I'm just trying to give you the feedback you need. So like a little bit more air, and it depends on what you want to do aesthetically, whether you want a bold frame or you want a thin frame. Whichever one you want, either go to the middle or go to the very top and hold it longer. But that's actually really pretty. The inside ripples are really beautiful. Your second layer is particularly nice. It does have a bit of an inconsistent beat to it. That's okay though. You also probably could have I don't want to say start too much sooner. It's just that like at this point, you've got very little room to do much other than a couple layers. And I just feel like there was maybe, I got to watch it again. Maybe there was a point where you were just flowing a bit heavy and using, again, if you start in the middle towards the back and you get that thinner frame, you can actually save a lot of milk. I don't know. That looks like good to me. Maybe just start a little sooner and give yourself more room for that because you want that to take an extra beat. You want to do a couple extra ripples for your middle layer so you can get a couple extra lines of color, and you really want to whip it. At least that's the way that I like to get that color in there, is kind of like whip it just as hard as I would, maybe not just as hard as my base, but like harder than soft. That's going to be really fun later. But yeah. I just think that could have more color, and it has like a beat of inconsistency. So you can even see where you started because there's a big black line or brown line in between where that first ripple was. So it's like you touched down, delayed, then rippled a little bit. So like that delay is what causes that inconsistency. Touch, kind of delay, and then pushed in. And that the distance when you were rippling and then the push in is why it has that color there. So the third layer is great. I love where you've set that. Hold the layer after that. So this like fourth one you just did right here, you want to hold that longer. If you can, it looks like you're almost out of milk. So it's like sometimes you can't because you're almost out of milk. But you want to hold it longer and kind of move forward and up with it. That way it doesn't collapse backwards, which you can kind of see it started to do. But you did set yourself up for a really nice top heart here with that little V-neck opening at the very beginning or at the very top. I like your socks. But you did overwrap it. So even here you can, again, I'm tearing you all apart. You could come a little higher, or you can kind of just be more diligent about where you put the base sooner so that you don't overwrap it towards the end. Like have a little bit more space at the top by not pushing it so far back at least. I don't know. That's actually kind of a nuanced thing because it would be like pore to pore, style to style. Sometimes, there's just so much you can do. Once you're in the moment, you got to seize the moment. But I think here, like if I were in this situation where I had to put a top heart on there and I didn't want it to overwrap and I was working with slightly thin milk, I wouldn't push the wrap so hard. I would make it really soft. Like I would just barely let any milk flow here. And I would go a little higher, hoping to kind of get some distance. But you should be proud. The base is phenomenal. A little bit of asymmetry in the end, but that's okay. And the vibes are good, the color's good. That's the most important part. It's going to pop once you kind of start landing in the places I think that'll make more sense for what you're doing. You won't have these, see this like big, thick border being a little thick at the bottom and a little thin at the top. That's from just throwing it from so high up without it being the right texture and holding it long enough. If you had held it longer, it would have been a border all the way around. A little cleaner, I think. Otherwise, really great. Oh my God. Let's move on to another person. We've only done 3 and I feel like we've been streaming forever. Nice haircut. Thank you. It's not really a haircut. It's my hair. I cut my bangs the other day. I was talking about this in a different live stream. I cut my bangs a little prematurely the other day. And I was like thinking about growing it out, and then I cut it, and then I was like, damn it, I should have grown them out. I kind of want to grow them out. I like when my hair's long. I found some old pictures of me when I was like younger. I almost said a kid. I was younger. I wasn't a kid, and I liked my hair long. I just miss it. Bangs are cute, but like I like having like some visible, I don't know, but I cut them and I have curls, and right now they're just kind of crazy. So it is what it is. Thank you though. I appreciate it. I do appreciate it. How much coffee do you drink a day? Normally I drink maybe a pour over a day. Like one of these is like a washed Colombian coffee. I am on my second one today because of this whole dealio. The Discord is public, but you got to join it, and it's in the description, I believe. It should be public. Like you have to join it. Don't sleep on us. Okay, let's do another one. Let's jump into another one. Before we do that, actually, how's everybody? How are we doing? I want to hear more from you guys. It's so good to see you. I want to fix my hair a little, summon the latte art devil, whose name is Chuck, apparently. Let's do this one. So far, so great. I like the picture. Wait a minute. Pause. Wait a minute. Luna, this is still you. This is still you. I didn't realize we were doing the same person. I was like, wait a minute, this looks exactly like the same person. Let's keep going. Why not? We'll watch yours again, Luna. This looks better. Start a little sooner. You could have waited. See, you got to hold. Okay, yeah, same thing, especially if you're doing a Rosetta, because a Rosetta, you're going to need one a little bit more texture because the Rosetta is just generally going to get whipped around a lot. When you whip a Rosetta, like side to side, like think about this. This is a way you can think about it. Nobody ever talks about this. But when you're like whipping the Rosetta side to side, I'm going to spill water or liquid all over my keyboard. What you're doing is like all that foam on top is getting thinned out on both sides, right? It's thinning, thinning, thinning. Now you don't want thicker foam per se. You want creamier foam. Like you want a little more stuff involved in your milk because it's going to kind of thin out. So if you don't, they're just going to look a little wispy. They don't look too wispy here, but your milk is generally too thin to hold up the structure here for what you're doing. It's not too far off though. You can get it there. You might have even been able to do it with this if you had just held that beat longer on that first part of the base. You may have been drunk. That's so funny. I have poured drunk before. I've also poured under the influence of many things before, but don't do it. Don't do anything bad. Ever. Be good. Be a saint. Be an angel. But no, you didn't mess it up too bad. It's actually really good. You have the great structure. We haven't even watched the whole thing. The pizza guy that likes chicken porn. What? Explain. No, you deleted it? That's unfortunate. Go get it back. Go pour a new one. Okay, so yeah, you should have held that base a little bit more. It's okay. Just a beat longer. And you can also start a little later with Rosettas, actually, because you kind of want less room. The ripple back is really nice. The stock you're doing, it's like a little inconsistent, but that's just hard to do. You'll get that with like practicing these more. And you kind of like have a little distance from the back wall here. That's probably because you started so high and didn't develop that base enough to kind of throw it heavy, which would have helped it get to the back wall. But it's still really pretty. The shape is right. It's just a little up here. See how it's like, see how it's like a triangle down here at the bottom? And it could, like, it's not an even brown crema ring all the way around. That could have been avoided by being a little more centered when you push, or by going to the very tip top and holding it a little longer before you pushed, which would have also developed it and made it look really big and bold and cool. And then when you do the stock, you actually want to go up higher than you think you need to. So you want to go higher back when you're doing those ripples backwards, because you're going to end up pushing in with the heart. So you don't want to squish anything at the top. You can see the two like leaves right underneath your main heart get a little smushed, and that's because you want to come up higher to give them some space, and then you can smush some stuff, smush your stuff in any way you want to. Sorry, being weird. How does the type of milk affect texturing? Whole milk is kind of the most well-rounded. Fat is actually a destabilizer to foam, because the proteins in foam, they can grab onto air and they can grab onto fat. And so if you have too much fat, your proteins won't want to grab onto the air. And so your milk can be kind of thin and watery, but higher fat means it's more buttery. So it like flows better. So like if it glides across the surface better, but you have less foam overall. So it's like it's more tricky to get the foam in just right when you have higher fat content. Whereas the alternative, if you had no fat, like 0% fat milk, it's going to stiffen up really, really tight on you because there's more proteins, there's no fat to destabilize that foam. We want a little destabilization in this bee. And so you end up getting really stiff milk. 2% kind of does the same thing, but you can work around it. Whole milk is the easiest. Other than that, when it comes to alternative milks, you want to do like oat milk is usually the easier ones. Only if they are barista versions though. Justin Wong said, what things helped you the most in practicing? I actually have a video I'm working on about that, about how I practiced and got, okay. At Latte. Sorry, I blacked out a little bit for a second. My brain like broke. Okay, let's get back into it. Actually, I should let this video finish because that was rude of me not to. See, still so pretty. Still so pretty. Guys, we've been streaming for 41 minutes. Is there any difference? Okay, someone said, is there any difference between the technique that starts by pouring in circles before making the latte art pattern and the one that just pours the milk in without doing that? At the end of the day, Yeah, there's a difference. I kind of switch which ones I do. I tend to pour it directly in the middle just so I can kind of mix everything really aggressively, usually without breaking the crema too much. But I do swirl the crema a lot prior. When people kind of mix it like this, hold on, let me see if I can get you in the shot. When they like mix it like this, you are spinning it in a circle. You are evenly mixing it, but sometimes that spin can bite you in the butt, and it's just quicker. It's quicker to just do it in the center. That being said, doing it in the center is not as perfect for cafes because it can be a little off, and sometimes you can break the back wall by hitting it at the wrong angle. Like if you pour here and you hit this wall on the inside, it's going to bust. It's going to bust the back wall, and it's going to come up from behind your crema, and it's going to look bad. Oh, the pizza guy who said his favorite food was chicken parm. Honestly, dude, all that information goes in one ear and out the other because my brain only registers latteart. Lart. I'm kidding. I do remember that. It was fun. Anyway, it's a give and take. It's just a technique thing. I like to start my pour really soon while the crema is still really fresh and everything's kind of mixed in really nice and the foam hasn't set. So I just pour directly in the center with it tilted. And the reason you do that is because this is a rounded cup. Not all of them have this exact shape, but when you pour into the center, you are pouring rather evenly. When it's tilted, sometimes you'll be pouring in the center and it's not as even. Because when you tilt a cup, usually, like here, this is an example. If I tilt this is deeper than if I had it just here. Like it just gets a little longer. And so the foam can kind of the milk can kind of get pulled in. Okay, anyway, I'm rambling. I'm rambling nonsense is what I'm doing. I just think it's preferential. I do think one leaves more blemishes, but it's a little more fun, and that's the one I do. I do a lot of things like that where I say, don't do this, but I like to do it. That's just how I am. Somebody said, thank you for doing this. Yeah, dude, I'm so happy to do this. We're going to keep going. Video on how to get goated? Shit, I don't know. You gotta practice them baws, That's a sheep. Is that a sheep? All right, let's try this one. A swan. This is a beautiful video. I'm just gonna pause it for a second. This almost looks like AI almost. It like is so pretty. The way the lighting is like coming in from this direction and that direction. And this is like perfectly soft. Are you sure it's not AI? I don't know. We're gonna see. No, it's real. It's definitely real. It's a human for sure. Not bad. Hey, wait a minute. Pause. Wait a minute. Are we using this? No, we're using different cups. You're using the Cruve cups. I'm using the Fleur ones from Ethan Rohde, who's a pal. He's a pal. I love Ethan. Shout out Ethan for sending me those cups because I broke all my Cruve cups. I don't have them anymore. Technically, my cat broke them. Okay, sorry. Let's go back. Let's start this one over because I'm a little all over the place. Really beautiful video, first of all. So pretty. I love this like backlighting of orange. Yeah, I think right here you could stop and you kind of skipped how much you integrated. That's really interesting. You skipped it. You didn't need to edit the video because we need to see the video in full. But if you had started just a beat sooner, like maybe like integrate that much, not that much, right there, not that much. And then did a little light layer just to hold it. You're a little crooked. See how you're like leaning one way? You're not like exactly straight aligned with the back of the cup. Your pitcher's tilted. And then you kind of start pouring pretty heavy. I would say that if you hadn't integrated as much, you could have started a little bit, obviously more symmetrical, but like a little bit higher and just guided that pour to the back at a slower pace. Let it develop. You're going to develop it like you would a monk's head. You're going to set the tip right down on there. Set that tip right down. Set the tip down and let it just kind of flow out as you move the pitcher forward before it stiffens, rather than dumping a ton. Because when you dump a ton like this, yes, you're going to get a mark on top, but it's just like the top layer of foam like landing on top versus it all kind of pushing and integrating and making this beautiful circle that you get from when the pitcher spout is really dipping into the coffee. Do you know what I'm saying? Not dipping in, but like right there where it's able to kind of push forward without half of the foam going underneath. You're using all that foam without using more flow. And so you get more opportunity to do more in your cup without filling it up super fast. So like there, then you would even be able to ripple better because you would have been starting sooner. There'd be more current because you started sooner, so everything's more loosey-goosey. And it just would work better. It would just work in your advantage, I think. This is still a good shaped pour, especially because you're going to do a swan on top, which is like hella hard for a lot of people. But you could have saved foam here in the base and given yourself more room for the swan's wing later, which I'm assuming you'll do because that's how swans work. Yeah, so you just could have had a little more room. It's okay. That's a good layer. That layer was good because you set it right where you wanted it to, or you set it right where you wanted to, and it wrapped really well. I really appreciate that you did that because that's a really smart layer. And then you pushed in and you're going to do the ripple back. You didn't do, I would say, like, work on taking more time to do the wing because the swan will look super magnificent if it has a longer wing, right? Like, the longer you can go with the wing, you can get more color in there. You can get more more definition, sorry. So articulate your arm more. That's more what I was trying to say. Come up higher in the cup and then do the cut through with the neck. And when you do the cut through with the neck, it's definitely preferential. Some people like to kind of sink it, the wing, before you pull back on the neck. And some people like to layer the picture down and drag down. I like to do the latter because I dated someone who did that, and they were like, you got to do it this way. And I was like, bet, I'll do it that way from now on forever. And then here, see, this is interesting because, again, preferential, you could have connected those two motions. Like the motion of coming down can become the motion of coming up with the neck. And then you can come up just as high as the wing, which you did do here. But I would recommend that wing comes higher and then your neck goes higher too, right? They both go higher so that it seems more magnificent. And then all this stuff at the bottom, like the base, it just looks right. It looks harmonious. This is still really pretty. I'm not just here to come at it. And then for the neck, you kind of curve the neck, which is like, if you want your swan to have like pretty bad back pain, you should curve the neck. If you want your swan to have like nice posture, like good at formal events, not embarrassing themselves, you need to come up straighter and then just slightly tilt to the side, like move to the side rather than drifting that super large amount. If you are going to drift that super large amount, I've seen some people they'll cut up instead of doing the head and then they'll go back into it and do like a double stacked head. That's a little more advanced. That's usually when you see someone come out that exaggerated. I just think it like looks, this is actually a really cute way to do a swan, right? Team wing drag, yeah. It's just that, and then at the end, you don't have to lift before you do the cut through for the beak. You can actually lift through the beak and do the cut through at the same time on an angle so that it's sharper and so that you don't sink half of the head. Notice how you like sink some of the head. Anyway, so what I'm saying overall is that you need to pull the wing back, go into there to catch all that color that you just created by pulling back, and then come back on the same motion, or you can separate them. That's not really that big of a deal. It's a preference thing. But when you do the neck, do the same length and come all the way up and then just move to the side a little bit rather than dragging it in a circle and down. You actually even could just drag it up a little bit if you really want to drag it, because then you're going up and away towards the top of the cup, which sets you up to kind of put that face, the face of the swan, which are really crazy looking sometimes up close. Or is that swan or that's geese? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, come up to an angle and then you can put the head in. Oh my God. Oh my God. Guys, how are we doing on time? Or not time, sorry. How are we doing on audio? How are we doing on video? Everything looks good? My bangs are doing the thing that coconut heads bangs do. Sorry. Otherwise, it's a really beautiful swan. I just think it's small. I think you can stretch it, make it bigger. I think you're in. Like, I think that's exactly what you want. Then you don't have to change the style, really. You're just exaggerating things within the style. You already shoot videos like you're like better than AI, so kudos for that too. Really good submission, for sure. I'm being real with you guys. We've done this before, and I was too nice. It's too nice. Now we're going to go in like real aggressive. Extreme latte art tutorial. What do you mean? Like me? I should do the extreme tutorial? We watched the extreme tutorial. Jess. Hey, Jess. All right, let's see what's going on with 2% milk, 20-ounce mug, 8-ounce cup. Let's see it. Okay, first of all, your aesthetic is unmatched. You are ethereal today with your pink little cable knit sweater thing and your pink cup. and your nails and the aesthetic and the purple. Oh, this is great. And the picture, this is crazy. I want all of this stuff. This is super cute. Wait. Pause for a second. Somebody said, this is literally the most girly pop latte artist for sure. Someone said, are there any mental practices you have for when you're feeling discouraged in your progress? I'm a 2-year barista and coffee is my everything, but I'm doubtful of my capabilities. Listen, you got this. I promise you that with the content we're going to be making moving forward, you literally got this, but also it's okay to address where your like shortcomings are because we only make progress through failures. Like I always say, I lost way more championships than I ever won, right? And I lost like 6 before I think I won on my 6, but like I lost 5 before and there were so many times I almost gave up. You can't do that. You got to keep going. But you should understand that like if there's something that's holding you back, I have a video coming out later this month, probably next week, that's about breaking breaking plateaus. So like just changing up your formula, changing up certain things to help you get to a new version of yourself, right? All right, ciao, bye. And so keep an eye out for that. But like generally speaking, you're fixable. Like, when you meet someone, you're like, oh, I can fix them. You're not supposed to do that. In this case, you are, anything that you're not that you like don't like, you can fix. We can work on it. I also was very discouraged at my 2-year mark. And then I kept at it. And whether for better or for worse, I'm still here at the 10 year mark. 10-year mark. I fix my fucking bangs. Sorry. Oh, I don't know if I can cuss. I don't think I can cuss. Maybe we can bleep it. Okay. Anyway, have faith. You got this. You're already crushing it. Okay, so let's go back to the pore. So the prettiest pore in the world right now. I would already say, I don't know what you're going to pour, but I would say start now. Like I would say start your pour now and don't integrate as much more. Really, guys, like the secret to getting that flowy, loosey-goosey texture that helps you get all that color is just starting a little sooner. You don't want to start so soon that you break your base, or you like warp the design because you started, here's a good example. This cup has a flat back wall. I would want to wait with the tilt. If obviously you want it to be shorter, right? Like not this tall, but let's say it was. I would want to wait until the liquid was like past, like just about here or even past that like flat line because I don't want the back wall to manipulate the design. Like if I'm pouring forward and there's a flat back wall, it's going to cause a crazy warp in your pattern. So you're not doing that. I'm just saying like you can integrate as little as possible without doing that. And then you'll have a much more slidey base. You don't have to do that, but I think you're going to want to. That was great. I would say even hold that first layer a little longer and develop it so that it's a little bit more well-shaped, more like a monk's head. Like that's a different philosophy in how people do stacks. Some people like to, I don't know if you're going to do stacks. I see you doing a stack. But some people like to kind of throw them in there and other people will hold them and guide them around and kind of manipulate them. They got to be a little more fluid for that, right? And so you got to start sooner. That's how I like to do them because I like them to have this kind of border that pops and is very loose looking and doesn't look as much like a crescent moon and looks more like a pure, like a ring, like it's got a very nice clean ring. Hello in Bangladesh. Oh, you're not doing a tulip. You're doing a swan. We just watched a swan. Now we get another swan. So the last person who was pouring could learn a lot from you with how far back you pulled that wing. That looks beautiful. That's exactly what I was talking about. And then I bet you're going to do... Yep, you're going to transition directly into the neck. Now here's where I'm going to start picking at you. You pull the neck up direct, like north, like directly where you landed. I would say you can kind of do more of a swoop curve to the neck. I think that would just look a lot better. Kind of lean towards the wing a little bit more. Don't cut into the wing, but like lean towards the wing. Come up a little bit quicker because the pace that you're doing it is giving your neck one solid structure. And we kind of like... I think it looks prettier in a swan when the structure starts thick and gets thin and kind of comes back into the head. That's just a personal aesthetic. But when you have a swan's neck and it's like this cylindrical, I'm scared of them swans. I need water. Okay, but yeah, I think that's going to look really nice regardless. And then you push it to the side, right? And then you do a little cute little lift up with the head. See, I just think that like right here, like the neck could be thinner. It's giving like bodybuilder, you know what I mean? Like it's a bodybuilding swan. So my notes for you would be, and also your milk looks good, but I think with how well you were rippling, you should have been able to catch more color in that wing. So I don't know. I would say start that beat sooner and hold those first two layers a little longer, but use less flow when you do it. That way you can, maintain how much you're filling your cup and you can get more of those clean borders instead of these kind of crescent shapes at the bottom. And then try to catch more color. I think that might just be a texture thing. I think you just might have a little bit more foam than you want here. Just like a little bit more foam, nothing too crazy. Yeah, and then do the neck kind of at an angle and a curve. I just think aesthetically that's going to look really nice. I think it'll match the aesthetics. Also, your counter is so pretty. I just realized, look at all these zigzags. Holy moly, that's so pretty. Guys, isn't this crazy? We are live. So one of my cameras, the camera I'm operating on, says that it's low battery. So in a minute it's going to die. Actually, excuse me, we'll just change it now. We will just change it. Right now, we have a second battery backup. So give me 2 seconds. It's not going to look too crazy. And I'll be right back. Yeah, give me 1 second. Okay. We are so back. So back. Are we good? Everything is good? I think I fixed it. Looks like we are on a brand new battery with 100%. We can keep going. We got 69 concurrent viewers. Disgusting. I don't have a lowbrow sense of humor. You have a lowbrow sense of humor. What's that behind your head? It looks cool. What do you mean? My living room. That's one of those like TV art frames, and then my light, and then my vanity. That thing over there is a cat wheel. If my cats were here, I would show. Oh wait, here. I'll show you guys actually. You can't see because the window's open. There we go. Now you can see the room a little better. Yeah, so I have my dresser. I used to put my coffee stuff on that dresser back there. It has like tons of coffee stuff in it. And then one of those like art TV things, I got a vanity and I got my cat wheel, which they run very fast on it. I'm actually working on a cat wheel video where I use them, my kitties, to power a coffee grinder because they run on the cat wheel and I want to harness their energy. Yeah, the dresser thing, like the entertainment console, it has like a plug in it too. So I used to like run my coffee bar on that, but it's just like really hard to shoot with. It doesn't really look good on a camera, so I tend not to shoot with it. So I just moved everything to a new station. And for everybody who's watching, I actually have some really cool, exciting news is that in this station with the live stream stuff, like you should see it. It's like a whole live stream setup. Like I spent days building this and making sure it worked. That being said, I have an extra camera attachment that allows me to attach it to a GoPro and I can switch between them and I put it on the espresso machine, which is right next to me, the Marzocco. And so in the future when we do this, not today because I didn't warm it up, but we can literally like cut over to a pour and I can show you what I'm talking about. It's just going to be cool. It's going to be this is a good setup and it's like it's already made. So like we're all in. We're like an hour in and it's legit. Okay, let's keep going. Oh, that was loud. Sorry. I need water. I need a beat. I need to breathe. Can we get some likes? We got 32 likes and 69-ish congruent viewers. Can we get more likes in the like box thing? Because why not? We're all here. Support your girl. And guys, I just wanted to say that I love you all so much. We're gonna keep going. We're gonna watch more. And thank you for being here. Let me cut over this scene. And we're back in. Great. Next up. Jerry. Okay, Jerry. Let's see. Okay, Jerry. Wait a minute. I think I saw something. You said trying to do a Rosetta here. Let's go back. Trying to do a Rosetta here in different days. I'm not sure why the bottom's running out of shape when I tilt the mug. Let's find out. So that's like how I integrate Oh, I see what's happening. I see what you're saying. So two things are going on here, Jerry. You guys are very welcome for all the work. I do my best. I'm trying to do more for you guys. Like, okay, so also really quick before we get into Jerry's, the video this week is a little delayed because I was setting up this. This took so much effort. So this will have to serve as like the video for like at least a few more days, and I'll try to get the next video out when I would have had the original one out last week. But we've so far done 3 videos in a row, week by week by week, which is a lot for me. And you guys know I'm like I'm doing these, like it takes a lot of work to live a life and make a video by yourself and do all this. It's a lot. So support. Give us some love. Anyway, let's go back to Jerry. So Jerry, 2 things are going on here. First of all, the shape of your cup is again kind of like the one I'm using here. It has a very rounded bottom right here. See how round that is? See how curved that is? Here's the deal. I always tell people to get small cups that are curved. You do want small cups that are curved. It's going to help you. But you kind of want them to be a little bit wider and a little bit more like an angle curve, like a bowl shape, not just like a bowl shape that's not like this, but is a little more like that, right? Like a little more open. The reason is because when you like pour into the center and it's shaped like a perfect sphere, it has a higher chance of busting the back wall whenever you pour that liquid. And that happens to me when I pour into cups kind of like this. They're not bad for latte art. You just have to be a little more careful with how you tilt, because there's no longer that like deepest point in the cup. Remember earlier how I was saying there's like a deepest point right here when you tilt? That's not so deep. Let's say the liquid's that tall, but now it's like deeper. When you have a perfectly rounded cup all the way in, there is no deeper. It's all the same size and roundness. So it curls easier. It like catches that wave easier. It's liquid. It hits the wall and it takes the form of its container, you know. The other thing is your milk's really thin. That's why it's doing that. If your milk was a little thicker, it wouldn't do that. So like if you just had a little bit more air in here, you also might have too much milk. Let me see. Ooh. It's kind of hard to see from your angle. That being said, so you'll see all these things. Okay. When your milk is thin, it warps around. When you have this curvy cup, it warps around. So you have a combination of 2 things working against you. You have this right here. It's going to start breaking the back wall from the back. See how it's going directly to the back and kind of to these edges, but it's really the back. Whoops. Whoops. Whoopsie. That one's better. We'll come back to it. It's just you need thicker milk here, and you have too much milk. You definitely have too much milk. You also integrated kind of heavy for how thin your milk is, and then like your ripples are great, dude. Your ripples are great. Your movement's a little bit delayed. You could pull back a little bit taller, so you don't have to stop so soon when you're doing the leaves and the stalk of your Rosetta. And when you're doing the cut through, again, if you didn't have such thin milk, it wouldn't have sunk everything. This is a milk problem. This is mostly a milk problem. I would say just try to inject a little more air into your milk and also use less milk in your pitcher. You want to have like just a few grams more than what you actually need in your cup, just so you can do the cut through. You know what I'm saying? So what I would recommend to you, Jerry, is to weigh your milk in the future. Weigh exactly what you need. For example, when I use like an 8-ounce cup or like a 7-ish ounce cup, I usually weigh around 160 grams depending on the milk, because all milk's going to weigh differently depending on its contents. It's not like water. It's not mil for mil. This one's a little better. You started a little high in this cup. I think you could start a little further back, but this is better. This is much better. Again, don't be afraid to pull back on that stalk. And then here again, it's just because that rounded cup, you're going to end up sinking it. When you pour really heavy in the center, you don't need to pour so heavy there. You could pour gentler there, but also if you had thicker milk and your design was stuck in the design, it was imprinted from the foam, it wouldn't do that as much. It wouldn't do that as much. But also you started a little high in the cup there. You can see because the bottom half of it is not an even brown crema ring. Guys, I think my hair is finally dry. I have to do this when it's dry to like crunch it all out because it gets like really weird if I don't. I kind of feel like right now with this haircut, it looks like what's her face from Severance. Speaking of goats, okay. These are really great, Jerry. Like, I just think you should texture your milk a little more and start a little further back for this one. And just, yeah, be careful when you're doing the cut throughs. Be careful when you're doing the integrations using that cup specifically. Also, your espresso looks a little watery. Maybe you should use a smaller, more concentrated shot. That might help you as well. But if it's going to compromise the flavor, don't do that. Can you guys believe? I just can't believe it. I'm like blown away that we are actually live right now. We do not. The last time we did this one time, like 2-3 years ago, we did a live, like not like this though, where we weren't actually offering critique and we were just like hanging out. That's funny. Oh, y'all, by the way, we have a new submission panel. It's called the Coccacino Roundup. It's not actually called that, but it is a Coccacino submission. So once a week, maybe, or maybe once every other week, we can do a Coccacino reaction pour video day where you can put your best Coccacinos or your best Diccolos. Review the alert. No, it's fine. People are in here. I get it. And then you can, yeah, you can submit your favorite Coccacinos. When is Coffeeland dropping? It's dropping soon. I think my audio might be a little too loud for you guys. It's dropping soon. I'm filming a commercial. We filmed a commercial for it, but I can't talk too much about it right now. I just watched some of the other edits, and I'm sending my notes in today for some of the final edit stuff that's going on. How do you improve steaming with the Gage Classic? Increasing or reducing the airing? It depends. I don't know what you're doing already. I can't tell you without seeing it. What do you use to hold your hair? Gel or mousse? Mostly gel. But I fucked it up today. Sorry. Oh gosh, I keep cursing. I messed it up today. Wait, you got a commercial? Oh, I made a commercial. Sorry. I thought you got a commercial in the live stream. I was like, is that even a thing? Yeah, I use gel, but the gel sometimes, I prematurely crunched it and then it was still a little wet and that messes it all up. And that's why it looks a little frizzy and frazzled. Okay, let's get back into it. Anyway, submit your Coccacinos, guys. That's what we got to do later. Another video will be the Coccacinos. Not like a commercial, Oliver, like a fancy commercial, like a commercial like for my YouTube, for the channel. Guys, we lost where we were. We got to go back. Oh, we're at the very bottom. Okay. Where were we? We were at Jerry. All right. Akira, I think is your name. This is a photo. It's not going to help me. I'm so sorry. If you have a video, I'd love to see it. But the next time you get a video, put it in there. Swearing is caring. Yeah, but I can't get, I don't want to get demonetized. If this monetization says it's on. I don't want to lose that. We got 0 chat revenue too. It's interesting to see these things. Okay, let's keep going. This is pretty. Wow. Beautiful nails, beautiful cup, beautiful vibes, very bright. Nice. Try to sink, before we even start, try to sink any pockets of white you may get. It also kind of looks like you have a little bit more foam present in this drink. So we'll see. Hey, honestly, that's so legit. I like this Swan. We got Swans all day. So a couple things I would work on for your Swan. You have really nice color in the wing. You can make that wing more elongated, like we've said for some of the other people. You can get more of a wing in this Swan. Your milk texture is interesting. I'm not sure if it's your espresso or your milk that's doing these weird squiggles. One of the two is messing with you. It might be your milk, though. I think it's just like you have too much. I don't know if you're like... I would love to see the entire process for you because it looks like you have a little too much foam, especially at the beginning. Maybe you're not I saw you swirl, but maybe you're not swirling enough. Not that part. Actually, your espresso looks great. Yeah, I would say your milk pitcher needs more swirling, I would think. Or the milk texture itself could be fixed a little bit. But there's something about it having too much foam in the beginning and not as much later. Watch. A lot of foam there, a lot of foam on top. You can just see it. And then you don't get as much movement because of that. But then later it starts to kind of crinkle up as if you've donated all your foam and now you're just like in watery milk. It's not a bad pour. I'm not like coming at your pour. I'm coming at like the something's going on in your pour that is compromising you. It's making you, it's messing you up. It's not compromising. It's messing you up. Your pour has been compromised is what I mean to say. But yeah, okay. So let's actually talk about it though, regardless of the milk. So yeah, integrate a little higher and try not to get any of that. Like you hit the back wall and so a little bit of your foam landed on top. And so you don't want it to land on top like that. You kind of want it to sink. And so try to sink it when you see that. I like that you went to the back and tried to get a little bit of a drift. That's good. Your milk's just a little too thick and you could have had more of a drift if you'd started a little further back for that drift, go a little further back and land backwards. But also your milk's too thick, or at least weird. Sorry if coming at that. Weird's the wrong word. Like it just is not the right texture for this situation to make it move. I just think your base needs to be further back too. So you need more of that drift going into the back so that you can elongate that wing. And then whenever you're doing the neck, you could go down further. You can push in deeper, or you can come up higher on that wing and drag that neck in deeper, which will just look more magnificent. And then when you pull up on the neck again, okay, stop saying hi. I'll block you if you keep saying hi. Okay. Okay, good. Anyway. Yeah, so you'll want to drag the neck up. Okay. I don't have any like mods or anything in this. You're in timeout. Sorry. I don't have any mods. I'm sorry, you're in timeout. You can't say hi at 30,000 times. You're also a barista. Maybe I'll put you out of timeout if you just learn your lesson. I don't think I can take you out of timeout, actually. I don't even know how this works. I'm so sorry. You can just watch the video later when it's uploaded. Don't say hi 30 times. Look at that. Crazy. Anyway, hey, all love is love, right? Anyway. Yeah, so like there, you have actually a pretty good neck. You could just like have pushed it in deeper. Bro, if another group does it again, I'm gonna be so pissed. We might need mods. Like, I don't know if that's a thing. Like, I know that's a thing in other chats. I don't really know if that's a thing here. Someone to stop these fools from saying crazy stuff. That's okay though. You can just say hi. Also give the little head of the swan a little wiggle. Let it sit for a second. You actually have a slightly underfilled cup. You could have even taken more time on that like swan's head. And then lift a little more on the outro of that head so that you sink that beak a little bit. Still really good. Put it further back, catch a little more color, go higher with that wing, get that texture a little bit more consistent throughout, maybe swirl the jug a little more, just work on general, like play around with if you use a little less air, will it look a little better, and try that. And then if that doesn't work, try swirling the pitcher more at your original technique. It's just kind of hard to see here what's going on, like what's messing with you, but something is like making it a little trickier for you. Something. It's okay though. It is really pretty, and it's a beautifully shaped swan. I think a lot of people in the chat too would love to pour like this. Oh, thank you for the donation, Justin. That's very sweet of you. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate that. Would love to hear your feedback on my 2 pours when you can. Submitted at 3:39 today. I guess that if we do donations, I'm not opposed to doing those first. I was kind of going in order, but that is sweet of you. Maybe that could be a rule. I don't want to put a paywall on getting your pours read, if that makes sense, y'all. That's not my vibe. I'm definitely here to help though. Like we can do another, I'll do it. I'll do it this time, but in the future, y'all consider donating for the sake of donating and helping the channel and like supporting your girl, because I give out free advice, you know, and shit like that. But I'm not going to always do this in the future, just letting you guys know. I will look at it though. Let's see where we are. We'll go down. We'll do it this one time because Justin's cool. And Justin's cool about it. You submitted at 3:39 today. Okay. There are some really pretty ones in here. I see some hollow hearts. I see some double hollow hearts. I really want to get to those. I don't think we'll even get to those. I just don't know if it's, maybe this live stream can be long. Like maybe it can be like 3 hours long. Or we could just do multiples of, okay. We'll come back around. We'll come back around to the beginning. Maybe we can do a few in reverse. That'd be kind of fun. Hey, Justin, I see you right there. 12-hour marathon? Dude, we could do it. All right, Justin, would love to hear your brutal honesty. You asked for it. And feedback in these 2 versions of the same porn, how I can achieve better consistency. Thanks again. Or thanks from an early fan. Aw. First of all, I love your cat. Second of all, I messed up the video, but I love your cat. Wait, that's actually really pretty. We're going to go back. Hey, that's pretty. Okay, brutal honesty time though. Here comes. Okay, hold on. Herb said that his is, or theirs is, I don't know what your pronouns are, that they are next in the thing. So we'll do that too, just because we're already down here. We're not gonna make someone like get teased like that, but at the same time, then we're gonna go backwards. Okay, Justin, I don't even have to watch your video all the way through to know what I would fix for you. So right here, We were talking about this earlier about landing and doing push bases. It's a nasty base, Oliver says in the chat. It's a nasty base in a good way. Exactly. It is a nasty base. You have a great like frame and flow and it all curls in. You have great color. Here's the deal with this though. The way you land and you kind of go with the base to throw it is good. I do that all the time. I think you would benefit from holding that base a beat longer before you throw it. So kind of launching it, maybe integrating a little less. It looks like you're pretty full for this cup regards to integration and wanting to do kind of a throwing base. Just like a couple mils less for integration. Hold that base before you throw it. So watch, hold it, then throw it. Same motion, but see, because you're going all the way to the top and you're pushing it all the way to the back, you're kind of scrunching some of this right here. This frame, the frame could like make it further out and around if you either landed deeper in the cup before you did the push like I do, or if you are dedicated to going to the top of the cup, which I do like, and it's a style I do all the time, you want to hold that frame a beat longer and then throw it, which is also why you need to fill the cup up a little less. The fact that you have your base is only like 1/3 full, right here, it's only 1/3 full, and your cup is like pretty close to full. By the time you finish this base, watch, your cup's gonna be like pretty full. Like you need more space. You deserve more space, and you'll be able to wrap these layers a little easier. You'll be able to wrap these layers a little easier if you put them closer to each other. So if the goal, so what I mean by throw it, maybe I can just show you. Maybe I can show you. I wonder what I would do to show you that. So you're, okay, so, wait a minute, let me show you. So like you're landing and you're moving the pitcher forward. Whereas if you just landed, so instead of like pausing, okay, so right here. Okay, this is where it's gonna get really technical and juicy. So you see how it's super subtle. You land the tip and then you tilt forward in. Watch it. Watch right at the tip of the spout. You land, you pause, then you push forward. Okay? So what I would prefer you did was instead of landing like that and then leaning forward, I want you to land in the foam. Like land not in front of the cup. Land in, I can't show you because my cursor's not showing, in the foam. Like land backwards onto the foam, and it's going to naturally, by the nature of how it pours out, start forming that blob. You don't have to push it to form it. It's going to start forming on its own. Then you push your pitcher through it, and it's going to get caught in the current that you create within that pitcher if for some reason you delayed a little longer. If you do it quick enough, then it'll just get pushed like you normally do. But like what I'm saying is, don't land up here and then lean in. Land on the surface and lean in at the exact same time, not in front of the surface. You do that either in the middle or do that at the top where you are. If you're doing it at the top, that means you can hold it longer because you can create a larger frame and you can throw it. And by throwing it, I mean pushing through it, and then it's going to get caught in the current. You're not literally like throwing it by using a heavier flow. You're throwing it by moving the pitcher forward while it's still liquid and wet. And you just have to have really good texture, exactly. Throw it, but it's like not throwing, if that makes sense. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta show you. Like, it's throwing with a little bit of okay, I'll show you. I have a camera set up so I could just go straight to the espresso machine, but I'm not gonna do that today. Throw it, not throwing. Lance, you're so funny. So yeah, okay, so I'll see if I can do this. So like, if you're gonna do a push base, so you start here, you're gonna start here, land on the liquid and then push it and then fill it in, versus like landing here and then coming into it, right? Oh God, here we go. You gotta do it with commitment. So like here, a little espresso, it's not really espresso. We got Lance in the chat. Lance is my goat. Lance is my buddy. We've known each other for, Lance, how long? Like 9 years, dude? 9 years, dude. That's crazy. I miss you. I'm glad I got to see you at Expo. But 9 years, man. It's crazy. We've hung out. in your house and stuff. I won't dox you. So yeah, so you like integrate, you stop, you land on the surface, and you push forward, right? Now I filled that up really quick, but this is not a spout meant for that. Everyone say hi to Hans Ledrick. That doesn't really work for my name. You can't really do an like a Emilee, a Myant. Wait, Uriant, Emilee, Uriant. You can't really do it. You can't really reverse it. Okay, let's get back to this pore, Justin. So you're doing great. You're doing great. Emilee, Emilee, Uriant is exactly right. Do I need to sit up higher? Ow. Okay. Guys, you've got me laughing real hard. I need to put a little lip stuff on. Okay. No, no, that's funny. He does not drive a Lancer. He drives me crazy. No, I'm just kidding. We have done a live collab. We did a live collab over on Lance's live channel. I'm wearing red sunglasses in it, and I kind of talk a little too fast. I'm just like a fast talker when I get excited. I've learned to calm myself. It's really weird posting like everything on the internet, you know, like your entire life and personal shit and stuff. Oops, I keep cursing. There's like a weird voyeuristic thing to it. Okay, let's get back to this. So Justin, before you gotta go, because I don't want to keep you. I love your kitty. I have a cat somewhere around here. I have two. I think one's been sitting in this window the whole time. Maybe you guys can see. I'll show you. You can kind of see her in the corner. In the middle window, she's laying on that little bed. We'll go back to it though. Okay. We're just hanging out. This is good. This is exactly good. This is exactly the kind of stuff we want to do on this channel. We have 69 current growers. What? 69 concurrent viewers. Okay, let's keep playing. So like, yeah, you could have like started that base without having to, okay, here's what I'm saying. Do you see how thick, Justin, do you see how thick that flow rate is? You don't have to flow that hard other than the initial push that you're gonna get after the base is already formed. And the thing is, because you're pushing that hard now, so much of your foam is like going underneath and not really collecting on top. You're not really at the right angle for it to collect on top. It just would have been better if you landed back onto the surface and let some of that foam do the work for you. That's just gonna naturally come out as your pitcher touches the surface. And then you can kind of like throw it and then follow behind it. And when you follow behind, you'll catch all that color. Otherwise, like your base technique is good. You just need to start sooner and land a little more backwards. And if you decide in the future you want to have less of a frame, land more towards the middle back, like not the back, sorry, the middle, right in front of the middle when you do the push. Again, land backwards. I like to integrate and land exactly where I started. So like what I like to do is, here, I'll do this again. My coffee's cold anyway, so whatever. I like to like integrate, and right where I integrated, I land backwards and then do the push. That didn't show up, sorry. Let me try that again. Okay, here, so we have our shot. So I like to integrate and then stop and then land right where I was and do the push, right? Just a personal preference, but I think it'll save you space because it'll save you liquid and foam, and you won't have your cup all the way full, but you will have to start a little sooner. So yeah, great ripples though, following, like your pacing's good. Your movement forward is perfect because you're closing up the base, you're zipping it up. Yeah, and then your second layer is also really good, but you do run out of space after that. And I feel like that layer could be wrapped a little more if the intention is to wrap. If you are intending to ripple and it wraps from the base, like the base wraps around it, maybe with the frame, which is really pretty, or maybe, you know, just in general, you want it to be closer when you do the ripple. So you want the ripple layer to be like right at the top. So you started kind of right there, which is pretty good. It's just your milk's so stiff at this point. Like not so stiff, but it's like stiffer than it could have been. The intention is to wrap completely and the frame. So if you want the frame to completely wrap here, you're gonna need more of a frame. You'll either need to go deeper. See how you have this little like section of brown in between the bottom of that next layer you're working on and the middle of your base. You would just want to be like a millimeter or two, like 3 or 4 actually, deeper into that cup where you started that to get that to wrap, because it just won't. It won't wrap if you're too far away. This is the whole idea, is like when you're doing something more traditional, like a Daisuke style base, he doesn't wrap because he goes to the top every time and pushes in. When you go to the top and you push in, you're not close to the layer you want to have wrap. If you want a layer to wrap, you have to use force and distance to your advantage. So if you want a layer to wrap, let's say it's the base or it's a layer into the base, then you need to be closer to that base so that it just immediately wraps. But you also need to consider that, like, if it immediately wraps, you might not have room for your ripples. So it's a give and take. You want just enough space to form those ripples for that layer and just enough space that it immediately wraps if that is the goal. Oops. Alternatively, what you can do, sorry for that loud bang, is that you can have more of a base. Like, your base is really small. Like, I used to pour bases like this a lot. The only thing is I would do them sooner in the pour. So like sooner while designing the pour in real time so that I had more space and so that it was all really loose. Like, the more loose it is, the easier it'll also wrap. So if you're going to do a small base like that, like a really flowy but kind of small little Pac-Man eating a heart, you got to start sooner. Zaya, you can submit in the Discord, but it may not be done today. But you can do it today, but it may not be seen today because we've been going for a while. I'm not sure how much longer we're going to go. We're going to keep going though. It's in the Discord, in the description. But yeah, so you have a small but really beautiful flowy base right here. Start the pour sooner, integrate less, and that base will still work. It'll just be, there will be all this space for you and everything will flow a lot easier and it won't take you so much whipping and extra milk to fill things up. It'll just be like you're barely pouring and things will start to wrap and move around. Alternatively, like I was saying, is you can increase the size of your base by starting sooner and by doing that thing I said where you land, you delay, then you push, then you really fill it in. And I mean like fill it in, like don't be afraid to slow your flow rate and then fill it in with a ton of ripples. The more ripples you fill it in with, the more large the base is going to look. If you go too far, of course, you are going to start to potentially make the bottom kind of look like a triangle, but the more ripples you fit in there, this is like a technique I adapted to over time. I used to pour exactly how you pour, albeit sooner, so I had more room to kind of mix things around, but I poured with this flow and this style. It wasn't until I like landed a little deeper, did my push, and then committed to slowing my flow rate post push and filling in with extra ripples, more than you think you need, more like 9 or 10 or 11 ripples, zipping it up. And then you have this magnificent, strong base, and it's taller in the cup. And the reason that's important is because now it's able to wrap easier because it's not all the way in the deeper part of the cup. It reaches higher. And because of that, you can basically pour wherever you want and it'll wrap a lot more immediately. Let's keep going. Still really great. See these layers like here? I think you want those to wrap. If you really want like a strong frame and that's how you want it to wrap, like you want the frame to be the thing that's iconic all the way through the pour, start at the top like you were doing, land backwards onto the liquid, let it have a beat, and then throw it forward. It's in the submission, Zaya. Unless you want to submit a cappuccino, there's only 3 Discord sections. There is the main one, which is like, hello, you're here. There is the submissions, and then there is your cappuccino submissions if you want to submit those. But yeah. All right, Justin, do you see what I'm saying? And then these last ones are good. I love that last layer. You really saved it in the end, especially because, like, look, I pour things like this. I used to pour things like this a lot. I bet you I could find one. Let me pull up something. Hold on. Let me pull up something, guys. 1 second. I don't know if it's going to work because I'm not really logged in on my Instagram online right now. I don't think it's going to let me do it. I want to show y'all something. Maybe I can't actually. Hold on. Wait, we might be at... Oh, fudge. Okay, I can't do it. I was going to log in to show you guys something. No, Oliver, he should have been... Is it expired? Wait a minute. It shouldn't be expired. I just did it today. Oliver, will you fix that? And also, do I need to fix the Discord right now before we keep going? Let me just fix it really quick. It takes 2 seconds. Thank you guys for sticking with me. I will share this. It's so cool that I have so many more screens on my thing, but y'all don't see it, which is interesting. But like, I've just never live streamed like this. Like, this is a legitimate live stream. Like, we are in, dude. I've got my little, like, some of y'all saw it earlier. I got my little, how do I show you this? My little, we'll be right back. We're larding. Isn't that fun? And if you like watch the right part of it, let me see. Where are we? My head pops up. Look, Hello. Isn't that funny? Like, look, like I love this shit. This is my vibe. Hey, we're gonna start some latte art soon. We're gonna get started. Oh, I gotta go. Yeah, that's silly. I'm silly. Okay, let's go back to the live stream, y'all. I'm sorry. I get excited. Oh yeah, Discord. Sorry, I'm sending the link. Oh my gosh, that's literally what I was doing. I cannot believe I oops. Okay. Guys, I'm so sorry we're taking a minute. Give me 1 second. We'll get right back into it. I'm just gonna send the link, copy link. I think that works. Let me see. We're gonna edit the live stream and see if this Discord link works. Whoops, that's not right. Nope. Invite people. Okay, copy. Great. I think we're there, guys. Sorry, give me 1 second. Oops, submit. I gotta fix some typos. I might. Is this live? Yes. This is live. Yes. We are live. We've been live for a while. Welcome in, Teddy. Thank you again for all your love and support, by the way. You are awesome. Maybe IG on my phone? Yeah, I could do that. My phone's on 2%. That's so funny. I'm like so living on the edge. Actually, I have to do it on my phone because it's an archive post I'm going to show you. I'll show you. It might take me a second. Give me 1 second, guys. We're going to get right back into it. Don't worry. I'm not actually worried if you guys like left or not. I want the same time. Like, I'm not going to rush, you know. We're going to take our time. We're going to do this just right. Okay, so there was like a period of time. My phone's going to die. Can y'all see this? You can't see that. There's no way you're going to be able to see that. Anyway, I'm not messing with the settings just to do that. Anyway, okay. It's okay. Let's keep going. Hey, Maddie's here. What's going on? How you guys doing? All right. What is the most insane LART you've ever seen? Dude, there are some people that have been pouring like crazy like animals lately that just look out of this world, and it's inspired me to want to pick up the pitcher and start pouring it. I might do that actually. I might make a video where we just like do one of these where we live stream. So actually, while we're talking about this subject, in the Discord, we're gonna add a new channel right now, and this channel is gonna be called Reactions. Oh, maybe we should call it something else. I want to make a channel that is dedicated to like pores you want me to see that aren't necessarily your pores, like links to Instagram pores or artists you think are really talented, because we can do reactions and we can also do like videos where I try to recreate those. Should we call that? What would the descriptor for that be if I make another channel? So we've already got Cockachinos. And yeah, so we got Cockachinos, we got submissions, and we need one more that's going to be like show and tell. Okay, show and tell is good. Honorable mentions. Maybe we should call it Latte Art Gods. How about that? Yeah, Latte Art Gods. Latte Art, that's good. Latte Art Gods. Okay. Oh, you can't do caps. That's funny. All right. Done. All right, that channel exists. We'll describe the channel later. I'll do that on my own time. Great. That's not where you're posting in your pores. Don't you dare. LART has been a thing. A lot of people say it. I started saying it years and years ago, but I don't remember who I first heard it from. I have a few friends who say it a lot, and I probably picked it up from them, but like I generally like, it's the medical term for latte art. All right, Justin, you're probably still here waiting on your second pores critique, so let's get back to it. Oh, wait. Okay, we're still working. Okay, everybody pause for a second. Emilee needs a drink of water. We also got to do one of these. Yeah, one of these. Yeah, little ASMR channel. Hey guys, welcome back. You like the ASMR? I'm just joking. Okay, sorry, it was a loud sniff. Yeah, conversational. We're hanging out. Wow, thank you for the $2 donation. Thank you. Like, seriously, like, guys, like, this channel, you know, it barely makes any money. The actual AdSense make almost nothing through coffee. It's too much of a niche. So, like, if I don't do video sponsors, or like you guys don't support Patreon and like all that stuff, it like really does mess things up. Not mess things up, like it just like makes it hard to commit the time to make more videos, to do one a week. Like I do one a week now. But what would really make a lot of difference is not even so much like donating or anything. Like that does help. Please do if you can and you want to. But what really helps is like hitting the bell, because YouTube does not show you my content if you have not been engaging with me lately. So like if I take a week off, which happens in life, it's likely you just won't see my videos. Like that happens to a lot of creators. And then also like I've been doing videos that are a little bit more, little different than what we've been doing forever, you know, all the latte art stuff except for this and some other stuff. And like when I make a video that's not based on latte art, they don't do well. So, which makes sense. It's not what the channel's about. That being said, we could do more on the channel with bells being activated, and it's not on you guys. It's like it just is a thing. I'm just asking, you know. Nobody did this but me. Nobody did this but me. I did this to myself. Let's keep going. If I go film a pad bore, will you rate it at some point? Maybe, but I'm really not trying to do them like, I'm not trying to do them live, but like that. Like I'm not trying to do it where you just say, oh, I just submitted one, please come rate it. And I'm not trying to do paid either. So like in the future, just submit them and we'll get to them. Yeah, just submit them and eventually we'll get to them. Maybe not in this stream, but maybe another stream. Have I thought about using Blue Sky? They've been really good about link referrals. What do you mean? I don't know what I would do on Blue Sky. Oh, you mean like posting about it and like promoting it? Yeah. So that's something I've like, before we get back into this, I'll say one more thing. Something that I've been doing lately is just not promoting these things outside of like YouTube. One thing, I know that's kind of like, you're not supposed to do that. I tried that with one video recently that still did okay. But the reason I was playing with that was because when I submit something to like Instagram and it's like a link in a story, which might still get a lot of views, maybe not, depends. Those links take you to YouTube through like a separate browser and you're not logged in. And when you're not logged in on the separate browser, you don't usually, like I wouldn't, if I was scrolling through Instagram and clicked someone's video to a YouTube link and I wasn't logged in, I would not stay and watch it. I would go and find it on YouTube and watch it. But like having the link lets people know it's there. But it also, I think what it does potentially is it leads people to your page. Then they watch some of your video and then they leave because they just can't keep watching it in that weird little window within a window, you know? I think. Yeah, I think Instagram doesn't pay its creators either. They don't like to have, they don't like to support people. Yeah, that just happened to you a minute ago. Okay, so exactly. That's usually why I don't like to post it on Instagram, but I will do it because you do need the reach is good, and also I want people to know I'm doing this, you know. Anyway, we've had a lot of concurrent viewers. It's really hard to say concurrent viewers. I always want to say concurrent growers. But yeah, let's keep going. Justin, second pour. Second pour, it looks a little better. You launched your base. This is crazy how I can just look at it for like 1 second and tell you what's going on. That's just it. That's what it is. So you filled up your cup a little more than I normally would. But let's say you land, you push your base, you immediately start rippling. I actually think in this case, you want to get some distance between where you pushed the base and when you ripple. Because you want that like little distance you get when the base is moving away from you and you're staying behind. Then you ripple. That's where you get the color. So like you followed with it. It's really pretty. It has really great lines. It's very symmetrical. It sits perfectly in the cup. It's a little heavy on the bottom half for the actual border. That's again because you're not holding that frame when you push it. You could hold that frame a little more. But your wings are nice. It's just that you could get more color with a little more momentum in your base. That will come from either landing backwards in the center and pushing it or holding it at the top before you throw it to the back, which creates that momentum. Or you could do like a traditional, laying the pitcher down backwards, drift base, but that's not what we're talking about here. You're doing push bases, and so we need to stay on that theme, right? We're not going to change everything. Second layer is a little better here. Again, you're not wrapping everything yet. If your goal is to wrap everything into the base, those layers need to be closer together when you push into them. If that's your goal. If not, otherwise this would still win throwdowns. This does really well. It's pretty, has a lovely shape. I do really love it. But if you want it to wrap, you got to get closer. See how you have all that brown in between every layer? That's an aesthetic that a lot of people like. Ooh, my voice is starting to hurt from talking for so long. That's an aesthetic that a lot of people like, but the issue, how do I say it? The issue is that if you are trying to wrap, then it's not an aesthetic that you're trying to do. So you want to do the thing you want to do, right? Like you want to cause an effect. I want to pour a base with a heavy frame. Your frame is a little asymmetrical here. Again, it would work better if you started in the center and pushed it quicker, or if you started at the top and held it longer, one or the other. Chat, if you're confused by that, go back and read, or go back and listen to the earlier parts of Justin's base. But yeah, it's not a bad shape, and it's not a bad color, and it's a really beautiful symmetry. Otherwise, you have really great ripples. Your ripple game is honestly on point, and that's one of the hardest things. It's really gorgeous. It sincerely is. Maybe you misunderstood wrap. This is kind of how much are you like, okay. So if you misunderstood wrapping, and I meant like, so this, like, you see how there's like a thick border on your wing? And you see how there's these little hooks right here on the bottom right side, right above your second wing. There's like that little hook that comes from the base. It looks like it's hooking right around it on the wing into your second layer. That's what I thought you meant by wrapping, because those wings can wrap in, and then the like line can get drug into all those layers, and it looks really cool when people do that. If that's not the intention, then you're doing everything great. I would just say start your pour a little sooner, change how you're throwing that base, like I said. That way you can fill the cup up more, but also it can go further back without breaking and without being asymmetrical. Either way you want to do it, whether it's short held and in the middle, or whether it's long holding on the top and then throw it, like moving through with the pitcher and throwing it. Other than that, I really wouldn't change much, Justin. That's like really nice. Yeah, I think that's really nice. That's about all I would say. Oh, thank you for the $5. That's so sweet. Or €5, I guess. I don't really know what that means. Okay, Justin, so that blob on the left happens often because you're throwing your base without forming the frame first. You have to form the frame first. Whether you form it for a long beat at the top of the cup, because again, when you form it for a longer time, it's gonna have a lot more weight to it, so you could end up breaking the back wall. That's why we put it so high up, because you're gonna throw it heavy, versus in the middle where you throw it quicker and you don't really hold it very long, but you hold it just enough to form that little crescent shape, and then you push it more towards the middle. That's what I'm saying. So like if you want to fix that blob, you got to land backwards on the backwards on the espresso symmetrically, let it form for like a split second, then throw it, or go to the top, land backwards in the cup for a longer beat, and then kind of throw it by moving the pitcher forward and throwing it. It's going to take more force to do that way, but it looks really cool when you nail it. Yeah. Wait, that's the same one. Okay. Good job, Justin. Good job. Is this somebody else? Yeah. Hat monkey. Nice. That Aussie style cappuccino. Hey, that's really nice. Oh, we're going to do a swan. Another swan. We have so many swans. Swan channel. Okay, I honestly, look. I'm going to be real with you. I can already tell you this is a great swan. This is like classic latte art swan. You're a little choked up in the middle here. Do you see how the ripple is moving backwards into your swan's wing? Kind of like pause, and it's you, yeah. They pause and they could be a little bit more open. You need to consistently do that wide ripple, so watch. So first of all, I would say start here. Don't keep filling and start that beat sooner. Don't land at the top and throw forward. Land more towards the middle, landing backwards, and let it just kind of do its thing, or just let it come out naturally in the pitcher. I'd also recommend, you don't have to do this, but I would recommend using a slightly larger pitcher than this little one in this little cup. I just think using a larger pitcher gives you more control, but you don't have to do that. Okay, so great forward momentum. Like as you're doing the base, you're like leaning kind of into it a little bit. Like I always talk about slowing down and letting the ripple fill, But if you haven't pushed your base very far away from you, the other way that you can get color without slowing down is actually by kind of speeding up a little bit. Wait, why is this going down? What about people upside? We're going to go back up. We're going to go back up, Dan. Don't worry. I'm just saying, I'm doing this one because the person, Herb was saying that this was their pour and they were like immediately after. And so we just decided to do this really quick. So we'll go back up. Don't worry. But notice how you're leaning into the pour a little bit and it's pushing things out of the way. But right here, you got kind of choked up because you delayed on the pullback. So like keep leaning forward, close up that base more, ripple a little wider, but all around start the pour a beat or two sooner so that everything kind of moves around a little bit more loosey-goosey, especially when you're doing these ripples right here in the middle. You don't want them to kind of be like white like that. You want them to have a wider ripple. So practice on a heavier ripple. Practice on not coming so high up when you land. And I like the launch, but like you don't have to do that if you underfilled a little more. It'll just naturally kind of push forward. Guys, this is so funny. Someone said the next one is someone else's too. I don't know if I can keep doing that. I don't know. So yeah, you kind of like, you lose a little bit of your foam here and then it starts to catch up with you and then it gets caught in the stream. And the base is good, but it just could be better if you didn't have to throw it from the top to put it in the back and you started in the middle to put it in the back. You'd save space, you'd save milk. You'd be able to use that saving space in milk, especially if you started earlier to whip more in the wing. Then you can pull back. However, your actual wing is really pretty. I actually really like your Swan's actual wing. It's pretty. And then I love the way you did the neck when you did the little side swoop out and you did that kind of light curl and it has the heavy at the bottom, thin at the top. Looks great. I love it. I wouldn't change anything there. I think your actual Swan structure is great. Your just initial wing base could be stronger by starting sooner, and instead of just like relying on that forward flow, which you could do, try to do more of like a landing slightly in the middle, slightly in the top middle, and letting it kind of push forward a little bit or drift forward. It doesn't really matter how you land. It's just start there instead of at the very tip top, and then see if you don't save some space also when you start a little sooner, you know. You have a double hollow. Oh my gosh. Maybe we should go see the double hollow. Great job though. Really great job. Beautiful swan. Classic Aussie style swan. Wait a minute. Oh, guys, we can't keep doing the todays though. What should we do, chat? I'm gonna let the chat decide. Should we do one more going down or should we, oh, thank you, Justin, for the donation. That's very sweet of you. Thank you. Wow, guys, we made like 20 bucks. That's crazy. Doing this. That's kind of crazy. I'm just talking to you guys. While we go back, no worries. Are you sure? Are you sure? See what the double hollow is. All right, who posted, what is this double hollow thing? Jose, you posted a double hollow today or another day? Luna's there again. What's your name on the thing? Wait, we were just there. Why would I? Is it? Oh yeah, it's this. It's this. Okay. Another day. Go back up. People said go back up. I'm gonna go back up, but if I see the double hollow, we'll stop. Is that the double? No, it's a single hollow. This is a different double hollow from someone else. So, okay. So last time we checked, we were... Wait, we were really high up. Jeez. Wait a minute. I think I saw a Kakachito. Nice. That's AI. That's AI. Okay. Oh, here we go. This was the last one we saw, right? No. Somebody posted twice. That's why. Okay, let's keep going. Here we go. Okay, sorry for the dizziness, y'all. Just talking. It's a free masterclass. Yeah, that's right, baby. Sorry, I'm loud. I feel like I got really loud there. Thank you for the donation, Herb. Herb or herb? Herb like the herb, or herb like Herbert? Or I don't know. Y'all, I gotta use the bathroom in a second, so we'll do one more, and then I'm gonna run to the bathroom, and I'll come right back. 70 congruent. Let's keep it back at 69. Someone leave. I'm kidding. Where were we, guys? Were we here? We did this one. Wait, I'm so confused. Did we do this one? No. This is just a similar, oh, it's just Jess again. Okay, sorry, y'all. Jess is cool. No diss to Jess. We just got to figure out where we are in this thing. Jeez, Barry. Yeah, Barry's funny. Barry's posting all the AI memes and stuff. Jeez, you guys really came in. Like, we have so many submissions. This is like weeks worth of submissions. We can just do this all the time if you guys want. Like, I don't mind doing this. Herb. Yeah, Herb. Got you. Okay, wait, here we go. I don't mind doing this more often if you guys are down. If you guys like this. Just, 4:34 a.m. on the 22nd. That's funny. Okay, let's go there. Wow, that's crazy how you remember that. Unless you looked. Wait, did I miss it? Oh, yeah. Wait, we haven't watched this one. Okay, thank you. Beautiful pour. Beautiful, beautiful pour. Already, like the color, the lighting. This is definitely at a cafe. Nice start. Nice ripple. Little underdevelopment in the top of the wing. See that? Like how the top of the wing doesn't really fully wrap in. It's okay. It just comes from not having, like, you could just, like, right here, that could have had more forward flow. Like, you could do that thing that some people do where they create a current moving to the back and then they land backwards and they create that drift frame, or that drift kind of base where it drifts from the current that you've created. Or you could have tilted a little more, or you could have even tilted just a beat or not beat, sorry, like a little, like a few millimeters, maybe a centimeter entirely further back, just a little back, so that it kind of glides more from the natural, like, slant of the milk. Like when you have, let's say this is the surface of the coffee, when it's taller than the surface, like when the liquid is higher than the surface, and then you start tilting, it's gonna like push forward a lot more. So that's actually like something that's bad about having too much milk in your pitcher, but you can also use it to your advantage if you want a little more flow in your pitcher, but you shouldn't waste milk. And then, yeah, I just think that would help you with that one little thing, just having a little bit more forward flow, because you want these wings to kind of come all the way up. It's not bad. It still looks really beautiful, and it's going to get all wrapped in there too. For your second layer, don't be afraid to ripple a few extra ripples because you stopped prematurely, and so now you only have 1, 2, 3, 4 little boop, 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 boop. And they don't fully ripple to the side, so they don't have a lot of like width to them. They don't have a lot of color. There's only color on one side. You were one ripple away from catching color on both sides. So maybe do like 2 or 3 more to make it even with the color in the center. It's still really pretty. That layer right there, you can lean into and scoop up before you're done. Hold it a beat longer. And then this one here, you can see because you didn't hold it that beat longer and scoop up, you didn't get that kind of, oops, sorry y'all. You didn't get that C, that crescent shape that you're gonna put the next layer in, and it fell back on itself. And you can see that here because it's like a circle. It's a circle, not a U. And the U is where you would have caught all the color, and because you didn't do that, it's gonna come out asymmetrical. So see that? And you also, if you have the situation where you're in this and you've done that, push in deeper, hold it longer, will help bring these layers back up. And then you can kind of like adjust your picture a little bit if you're really in the moment, like you're really like adept to understanding that and feeling it in the moment. And you can kind of like retwist your picture before you do the cut up so you can reorient everything. So like I would push in deeper to try to wrap that entire frame because I already knew I messed it up. And then I would like reorient the tip of my spout before I did the cut up so that everything realigned. It's like one of those like in the moment things. I do not expect you to do that. I just mean to say like I would have corrected by doing that had I caught it in the moment. You did a pretty good version of that there. It's just you would have wanted to start pushing deeper on the second layer for this three stack because of that. So like if you would push deeper in the first or that second layer for that 3 stack, then you would get the effect that you got here on the second layer for the third where it wraps around, but it would have started sooner and you would have had them all wrap around. Do you usually count like a tempo throughout the entirety of the pour? No, I do not count a tempo. By beat though, I mean, okay, maybe that's a good question because I do have a tempo in my head. Yeah, it's like a bop, 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 like a traditional metronome, whatever that like traditional tempo beat is. Ready? Integrate, right? Land, push, ripple, 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 or even quicker, ripple, 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 ripple. But not always on the beat. Like it could be like ripple, I can't even do it now because I'm off sync. But like it's within that kind of like pacing, if that makes sense. I do not count it. It's just an internal metronome in my head. You know, it's like an internal like, oh, it took me a long time to do that push bass. That was a lot. I shouldn't have waited as long. You know, I gotta be quicker. You know, it's just like one of those kind of play it by ear. But I don't have like a specific metronome ready for you. Anyway, okay, back to the pour. Top part, really fantastic. Just the cut through was a little asymmetrical. Okay, we are, you know what's wild is like, people can submit more videos. Yes, we haven't gotten to even like a third of these videos. There's so many. You can go submit in the Discord link below in the description. If it's available, it should work. If not, someone send it. Oh, we're already on another low battery. That's wild. Good thing I have 5 batteries. Good thing I'm prepared. Yeah, that last cut through could have just been a little more symmetrical. Everything generally was really nice. Like you have really beautiful, I want to talk about the things that you did really well here. Color distribution's beautiful. Great lines, really great flow in the beginning. I just kind of want to see it drift a little more in that very, very early spot so that you don't get some of these kind of hung up leaves up here. Just a little bit more drift. Ripple a little more into that second layer. So like you've got this just beautiful texture, beautiful line clarity. You just need more color. And then later up here, I think just like focus on like stacking these more methodically so that they don't end up warping like that. And at the end, I really love that you did like a little, you just held the heart really great, but you cut through asymmetrically. So like work on aiming as you go for the center of the base, not just the center of like, see, you're just kind of off center on the base, but your wing is incredible. I think a lot of people in the chat would be very jealous of that wing. Ooh, my throat hurts, y'all. We've been talking too much. Wow, how long have we been going? Oh my gosh, 2 hours? Holy moly. Okay, y'all, I'm gonna run to the bathroom. Y'all just stay and take a moment. Okay, we're back. Y'all can hear me? Mommy left the room. I'm back. I'm back. Oh, you know what we'll do really quick is we're going to switch this battery because this one's going to die. And I also want to switch over to charging the new ones. Y'all can watch it happen. You're going to see it in a second. It's going to look like would it be fair to pick videos from people from the chat? I just don't know because like not everybody can always be available for a live stream. And I would never want to ding somebody for simply not being here when they can always go back and rewatch the live stream. I also don't want to do a paywall. I kind of just want to do first come, first serve, but, or maybe we could do random, but I don't really know how to do random in a Discord. I don't think that works. So wait, is this the chart? Did I switch them properly? I think I switched them properly. Let me see. Yep, cool. All right, watch this, y'all. Ooh, but you can still hear me, right? I think you can still hear me. Great. Many live streamers forget to mute themselves when they go to like the bathroom and stuff. That's funny. Don't do that. Yeah, we'll catch up. It's easier for people who find their pores if you just do them in order. Yeah, I think so too. I think so too. Let's do more. Let's do more. That was a good one. Overcast 201. Pithy. Pithy is not shy to latte art. Pithy is good. So we'll see what Pithy can do. I mean, already great. Like, this is okay. So first thing I want to say about Pithy's pore that I've been telling you all to do. Could I time them? Ooh, 2 minutes on each? I'm not trying to rush through, you know what I mean? Like, audio's good, good. Maybe I can. 2 minutes on each, though? Like, don't you want, like... Would you be upset if I got to your pore and then I only spent 2 minutes on it when I could talk about it, like, forever, theoretically? Or, like, even the fact that, what if we just want to hang out, like, and talk and, like, enjoy the live? And, like, I can always go back and download this video and edit only the reviews to post as a main video. Like, that's totally a doable thing. And that was, like, that's a goal, is to be able to do that. To, like, I was going to screen grab this one, but it just wasn't saving beautifully, and I didn't want to have an extra element of like saving gigs of a live stream on my computer just to post it later, where I could just download this one. But we could do something like that. I mean, chat, do you think, chat, I love saying chat, do you think that we should do only a certain time limit for each pore, or should we just go and just talk about the pores and have a good time and talk? Do we need to be putting restrictions on things? Do you want to gatekeep knowledge? I'm just joking. It's just being stupid. Do you? But I want to know what you want. Y'all, Zaya just wants me to get to their board. That's all. Zaya just wants me to get to his board. Y'all, this is the lion that protected me when I was hungover at Marzocco back in Italy. Yes, only a little time on each one. It's nice to... I think it's nice to spend time on the pore you feel you should spend more time on. Okay. Don't limit yourself. Want to hear all the details. Great. I vote you take as long as you need. Okay, great. I think generally we'll just do that then. Cool. So let's keep going. So Pithy did one thing that I really love that Pithy does, and that everyone who's, you know, pretty good at LART tends to do, is starting sooner. I've been talking about this the entire stream, right? We finally found a pore where somebody started sooner. Look at that. Pithy's cup is like almost completely empty. And he's already starting the first part of the pore. Now, he's starting way sooner than I personally would, because I like to flow in my base. I like to like throw it really hard. And when I'm like kind of throw, you know, that gentle like push that I do, it's really more of a nudge than it is a throw, but it feels like you're throwing it. It's such a weird phenomenon. It's hard to explain. You just have to learn it. Go learn it. But Pithy's doing a much more gentle approach at kind of presenting a stream by moving forward and then backwards, and filling that in over time because he filled it in so early. And now look, he's got an entire wing base with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 layers. Doesn't crash the back wall because he was gentler. Remember, if you start sooner, then you got to go gentler. And then he is still a little asymmetrical. It's probably just for pouring for cameras really hard. But you can see that because this side wraps in, the side closer to me. Sorry, I keep doing that. The side closer, the bottom side is wrapping in more than the top side of that wing. The color is magnificent. All that open color in the base, because Pithy didn't push all the way through before cutting up. And so there's just these like little pockets of brown where all the rippling happened because he was getting that distance. Beautiful. Second layer, more ripples. See that? I was talking about this earlier. Do more ripples. Because when you do more ripples, you get more color. Look how much color is already in this pore, and we still have so much room left in the cup to fill it. This is what I'm talking about. Plan ahead. Emilee Bryant, is the 20 ounce large enough for a large? Yeah, totally. 17, 20, 22, 24. I don't even know if there is a 20, anything more than that other than like Starbucks shit. Yeah, do whatever you want. You don't have to use a big pitcher. I just like, this looks like a bigger pitcher. I like having the option to tilt whenever I want to and work that milk around a little bit more loose. My bangs look weird. Hold on, we gotta fix that. My part's weird. Sorry, I hate having like a camera that I can see myself in. It's kind of toxic. It's good, Dan. Thank you for recording the steaming too, because I usually will go off that. If there's something wrong with the milk, we'll go watch your steaming video too. Hot take, don't fill the cup up to the brim. If you get good texture, then I think you should be allowed, to fill it up to the brim kind of slightly, if you know what I mean. Someone posted in Discord in general how to turn on the cursor for OBS. If you're using OBS, that is. I did. Where in Discord did they post that? Can someone just tell me? I'm not going to go do all that work. Okay. So, okay, back to Pithy's pour. Sorry. Okay, so sorry if I can't get to your video live. It's just think about this. We never know how many people are going to be in live. So I never know who's going to be here. It's like I'm just doing videos as we go. The people who are in these Discords don't always know when I'm going to go live. It's going to be more frequent. We're going to get through all these videos eventually. But yeah, I would just say like put it in the chat, or not put it in the chat, sorry, put it in the Discord. And if we get to it, we'll get to it. If we don't, we don't. I can't, there's not a rhyme or reason. It's just going to be hard to do everybody if we do them out of order, you know. Pithy also has his own, I'm just assuming Pithy goes by he, him, but anyway, their own design right here. That's really pretty. I believe that's their design. And we're doing that. We're doing a swan. Oh, and no, we're doing a rose. I prematurely got excited about the swan. This is so pretty. This is so pretty. I really honestly have no notes for you, Pithy. Shut up. Shut up, Pithy. Get out of the Discord. I'm just kidding. You can hang out. Nice doing that with that like rounder spouted too. That's really nice. This is super pretty. Okay, so here's the only thing about this style that I don't love, if I had to be nitpicky, is I don't tend to properties, go to OBS properties, enable cursor. Okay, we're gonna do that really quick. OBS properties. Do you mean preferences? I guess it's the same thing. Where's the cursor button though? Hide cursor over projectors. No, that's projectors. Sorry guys, give me 1 second. You could try going through random live viewer pour. Okay, maybe we will do Luna. That's a good idea. Maybe we will do one. Right click the source. Oh. Word. Oh. Word. But it doesn't give me, hold on. Sorry for the delay, y'all. We'll get right back into it. I'm going to make this work, though. We're going to do this. Go to OBS, go to the window, go to properties. Here's the deal. When I go to properties, I do not get an option that says, show cursor. So sorry. Oh, there's a screenshot in general? Thank you. I'll go do that really quick. I'll do that really quick. That'll be easy. In fact, what we'll do is we'll wait. Duplicate. This is in general. Why does mine not have all that information? My window that connects to Chrome doesn't give me all of that information that you're seeing. That's weird. I know I've seen capture cursor somewhere on there too. I will set this up better next time. I feel like we did a pretty good job this time. I'll say that. It's not bad. There's like everything's working, and that's pretty huge. But maybe I can try one more thing. So I have it as a window, just so y'all know. It's like a window device. Show, maybe it's another feature. Maybe they moved it. Maybe I have an outdated version of OBS. It's not gonna work. Okay, we're gonna move past it. We're gonna move past it. I'm sorry, y'all. I couldn't make it work. I couldn't make it work. But next time we'll get it right. Okay. I'll play around next time. Pithy did a great job. We're gonna give you a little fire emoji there. Give you a little fire. Okay, next up. How long do we have to submit? You can submit forever. Misy, let's go. Let's go. Nice. Cup is a little bit tall, a little bit cylindrical. Maybe don't use a tall cylindrical cup. It just would help you a little bit. Tilt more. There you go. Okay. Hey, that's really sick, actually. I am liking this movement of slow side to side, slow heart motion where you kind of like picked up the pace a little bit too, which is like side to side, then you kind of started rippling, then you kind of stopped. I like that maybe if you dedicate towards doing either a slow or a slow to fast, where you go slow and then start rippling consistently, or you just do slow the whole time, or you just do ripple the whole time, it would help you. Because I think right now, like you do side to side to side to side, and then you kind of stay still. Whereas like you can keep going side to side and it'll look really cool. You'll catch all that color in the center where you have all that white. You'll get those lines like you have right around that. You do kind of bust your base. I would say don't come in so heavy with that stream right there and instead lay the picture closer so you won't have to see how thick that is? You won't have to do that. And then it won't break the back wall. You can just go more gentle. And then when you're doing these wide exaggerations, if you're not trying to ripple, like you're not trying to whip the milk back and forth, then you can actually drag them really exaggerated side to side. That was fun with the focus. Like even further apart than here, and you'll catch so much color and your heart will end up being wider. It's kind of cool. Or if you're just rippling, I would say practice with water because you want your ripples to not be so much moving side to side as it is the pitcher is like, or the liquid is moving within the pitcher and the pitcher is relatively still, right? It's got to be the momentum or the movement in the pitcher that makes the ripples work, not the actual pitcher itself. Though you do move the pitcher to make ripples. It's just that once the ripples have started, like this, you know, you are moving the pitcher to do it, but for the most part, the pitcher stays in kind of one spot. So you're not moving the entirety of the pitcher. You're like pushing into it and resisting it so that it creates a wave. That's how waves work. Okay. I'm so stoked to be here with you guys. This is so much fun. Otherwise, really beautiful heart. I love the shape. I love that you look, your milk is great. You're getting good contrast. Just, yeah, don't throw in so hard at the beginning. You won't break that back wall. And then do a couple more of those side to sides. You'll get really pretty color in the center. Or commit to rippling more consistently by practicing with water just because it is so tricky. I would say don't waste your milk on that. Are these just photos? Hey, they look pretty. Nice. Good job. Lane Tanaka. Nice. Another photo. Great. Here's another video. Would love Emilee's mindset on how she approaches sustaining flow rate throughout the base and also initial base placement for different designs. Kind of feel like we talked about this a little bit today. Most of the pour that makes what you do pretty or not is the beginning, how early you start, where you're going to put everything, placement, and spacing. So let's see. Pretty good. Looks like you're trying to rap. Yo, that kind of rap. I'm just kidding. That was silly. Your girl can freestyle, though. I can do it. Wait a minute. Have we watched this video? No, we haven't watched this video. I saw another pet earlier that got me confused. So you said you were curious about my mindset on how I approach sustaining a flow rate throughout the base while also initial base placement for different designs. Well, it depends on what you want to do. Like I said earlier, where I land is dependent on how thick I want the frame. If I want a thicker frame, I land closer to the top in this cup, kind of where your spout is, and I would hold it a little bit further back though. If I wanted it to be thinner, I would put it more towards the middle, right? I usually let the milk do a lot of the work in the forming of the base, and then or the forming of the frame, and then I kind of launch it away from me to get it out of my way. Depending on where I do that, I will do it a different way to make it actually move. But once it's moving, I do slow down and I start to ripple about I I ripple where there's like a ripple or two in between me and where the stream is. So like, how does that make, that doesn't make any sense. How am I trying to say? Basically when the stream is moving away from me, that's when I know I can ripple. And I don't ripple super fast. Like I ripple like kind of on a staggered beat so that the stream is moving at a good pace. But every time I'm rippling, it's kind of not constant. It's kind of just a little off. That's going to catch more color. So I'm doing these kind of wider, more offbeat ripples than doing like a fast side to side ripple, kind of like that. And because I've slowed down on my stream after I've pushed, I can kind of start to focus on the side to side a little more. I'm not thinking so much about that forward flow. If I want to close up my base sooner and not have a ton of ripples, I will increase my forward flow and I will zip it up quicker, right? So I will so you can stop the base for a wing base whenever you want. You just have to move forward with the pitcher to zip it up, you know, because you're closing all those lines. And if you're doing it prematurely and you don't have enough lines, you want to pour forward into it with a little more oomph, a little more flow rate, because that's going to help push everything in forward while you're zipping it up. Normally I would advise against going faster, but if like your goal is flow with less lines, more space, more color, you want to lean into those ripples. But for me, typically what I do is I launch a little heavier than I actually do the ripples, and then I just fill it in. Anyway, for you, see, this is why we can't do 2 minutes. This is why we can't do 2 minutes. First of all, every time I do videos like this about anything latte art related, this, you, me, critiquing it, teaching it, it goes like this. Like I'm speaking about it truthfully. I don't pre-plan it. I talk to you guys. Do you know how much I have to edit to make concise opinions on videos? It takes forever. Oh, my hair's doing something weird. It takes forever. Anyway. So what I would say here is you started rippling, it's literally an unfiltered yap sesh. Absolutely. Absolutely. This is why it takes me so long to edit videos. I can literally talk forever until my voice goes out, which is what it's doing right now. It hurts. Okay. So you didn't really get any distance from the beginning of your base to the ripples, which means it's just going to start curling in on itself higher up in the cup. Watch, see? It's all going to stay up here. Now you did fill it in the bottom, which is cool. This is another thing I was saying is you can always move forward whenever you want and zip up your base. You just did it so high that like it's going to be like a kind of okay, you stopped in the perfect timing to not make it a triangle. If you had done one more ripple forward, it would have been in the shape of kind of like a pointy heart at the bottom, not such of a rounded one. I'd still think that this base should be further back. I think not only should you, if you're not going to create a frame, if you're just going to start by rippling, like you're just going to tilt into the cup and just start rippling, you want to be further back. Go further back is what I would say for that advice. And then, yeah, those ripples are really nice. They just need some pull away from them. Like you need, well, technically you don't need it because you did end up wrapping and creating a really beautiful base by kind of imprinting it here and then filling it in at the bottom. Otherwise it would have been a triangle. You did this like right here. You kind of just filled it in. That being said, you're kind of doing what Kyle was doing earlier, the very first person we reviewed. And you have a pocket right here. And you see on the top part of your base, there's like a pocket of brown in between all your ripples. It's because you're not rippling straight on into your cup. Look right here. You can see it. You're biasing towards the bottom half. You're kind of like lucky some of those even wrapped. There's like a weird garbage truck outside. Not a weird one, a totally normal garbage truck. But yeah. Yeah, you want more space. This is a really pretty wing base. I'm not trying to come at it like really aggressively. I'm just saying you could have had more of a launch to it, or you can just put it further back. I think would work better for you. Just like a little bit further back, like a few millimeters, maybe just an entire centimeter back actually. And so this layer right here is not symmetrical. You can see because that little like V-neck that you're pushing into is not symmetrical. So you definitely want to try to aim. But you did a really good job. I'm not going to like take that away from you. Like it's a really pretty shaped pore. That last one you could have cut up more. That one you could have also cut up more. You're kind of dragging in the liquid a little bit with your spout. So which makes me think you might have too much liquid. It's hard to see. Nice cute doggo. Definitely need a little more foam content to your milk. It's a little on the thinner side towards the end. But yeah, I would say, see how everything's like overwrapping in the top? It's still a pretty pour. You have great spacing. You really clearly know how to like manipulate layers and do pretty advanced pours, just put it further in the back of the cup. And if you didn't just start landing and rippling and then filling it in by pushing forward, if instead you like launched it before you did the ripples or drifted backwards before you did the ripples or just created some kind of forward movement, you see how the bottom of your base is like kind of got a kind of triangle shape to it. It's kind of flat at the bottom on certain sides. Not at the very bottom, but like to the sides of it. You would avoid that because that's coming from you just rippling immediately and then kind of pushing into it. You're just wiggling and you're setting these wiggles and then you're pushing through them, which can create like a weird, I don't even know how to show you, like a weird pointed shape. It's hard to show you, but you know what I mean. You can find your videos in 2 to 3 hours when the stream uploads automatically on its own. That being said, I will try to cut this into a more succinct video, and as well as we'll be doing this more often. So like if we don't get to everyone's pour today, which we won't, there's no way. We've been doing this for almost 2.5 hours and we've only done like 10 pours. You know, we will get to it eventually. So your milk's a little thin. You can see it just kind of like doesn't, it's still really nice. You should be proud of this pour. It's really pretty. But if you put things in the back of the cup a little more, you won't have so much smushed in the top of the cup. Nice pour though. Nice feet. You know what you should really do is start charging for these feet pics right here, because like at the end of the day, I used to post a lot of barefoot pictures and someone had to literally come up and be like, yo, stop posting your bare feet because people will pay for that and you're losing money. And I did not start posting pictures for money, but I did start putting on shoes. Saya, you're so funny. Okay, let's get out of here. Let's do another one. I always start for a Rosetta, but then I realize it won't happen, so I'm turning back to my safe tulip. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Wait, you said like you're pivoting, like you have a B pour? I will say one of the pieces of advice I give people is to have a second pour ready to go. Well, I'll tell you this. The way you're holding this cup is wild. You are holding it palm under like this, and you're about to pour at an angle, I think. It is wild that you were able to get this shot. This is not an easy shot to get. It's almost like it feels like a through the shoulder shot. Like I feel like I am your shoulder. But yeah, you're leaning towards yourself with the pitcher. Sorry, you're leaning away from yourself with the pitcher. That's why it's heavy on one side. And then also like you're not symmetrical. You're not like lined up with the handle properly. I would say make the handle face inward towards your belly button so that you're more consistent. But yeah, not bad. So like a little bit thick milk on top. I would actually recommend maybe use, wow, actually interesting. Hold on. Okay, yeah, your milk's like thick on top, thin at the end. So you need like, I think a little more air, but also what you need to do is like really swirl your milk more before you pour. It looks a little like clunked up on top. But not bad. Maybe yeah, like a little more air, then swirl it more. Try to land when you start your pour. It looks like you're also starting a little later. I would say you don't need to integrate so much. Why is the video not playing now? Okay. Well, now the video doesn't want to play. Weird. Okay. Let's see if we'll play a different one. Okay. Sorry. Anyway, essentially, like you need to start a little sooner with your integration. Don't add so much. And then kind of try to land symmetrically. And try not to bias your pitcher towards one side or the other. If you are biasing your pitcher towards one side and you notice it, try to overcorrect the next time you pour and bias the other way. And then your brain will start to kind of drift you back to the center. You'll notice it. You'll figure it out. Practice with water too. It'll get you there quicker without having to waste a cappuccino or two to figure that out. I really want to play the rest of this video, but it's not letting me. I'm really sorry. I really don't want to reload maybe I could just reload the page actually. We'll go do it. We'll just find it. It's fine. For the sake of helping people. The cappuccino was crazy. Okay. Where is it? We're almost done. We're almost done. We'll keep going for a little while longer, but woof, you guys are so awesome. There's so many submissions. Oh, here we go. Okay. So start a little sooner. Try not to hesitate. Try not to land so high in the cup. See how high you are? And try to tilt your picture to be a little more symmetrical. I would even say turn that handle towards your belly button and land kind of more towards the middle top of the cup rather than that, like, you're just a little too high. All right, bye, James. And your spout's a little too high from the surface, too. You need to get closer with your spout. But I'd also say I'd work on your texture just a little bit. It looks a little thin, but has a lot of foam on top, like you let it sit. As for these other layers, I would say if you start sooner and you focus on like adding more ripples or just doing a solid frame with no ripples, you will then be able to add subsequent layers that'll really make this look impressive. But for now, since you're like kind of in this developmental stage of getting to the exact right posture, getting to understand like how much you need to integrate, I would say integrate a little less. Turn that cup towards your, like the handle towards your belly and tilt it that way so you have a little more leverage. And then land in the center. When you do the pour, land a little deeper. Don't pour so heavy, but let that frame or that ripple develop naturally. Don't rush it. Don't cut prematurely. One thing that you did here is you started rippling and then you stop. Whereas if you were going a little slower, you started sooner, you would be able to go slower because it'll naturally pour out faster, assuming you fix your texture. Then you'll be able to sit there all day and do ripple, 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 ripple. You'll just be able to ripple all day. It's really awesome. And you'll be able to have a magnificent base. And then after that, the rest is just spacing and pacing. You just put layers here and there, which you are good at doing. You can see you hold them enough, you cut through, and you do this really great like cut up. You have a beautiful cut through at the end, super symmetrical. You just clean up that base a little bit. Sat drinking a pot of tea, far too late for coffee. Hey, I got coffee. We've been doing this live stream for a minute, y'all. 2.5 hours is wild. Hey, thank you for the donation. I really do appreciate that you watched. I'm sorry that you won't be coming back. But yo, I hope that you like the coffee adventure videos. Yo, have a good rest of your day too. Thank you for the support. I appreciate the channel support and love. Thanks, guys. Thank you. My heart beats for you. Emilee live stream. Yeah, that's me. I'm doing it. Great pour. We can focus on fixing that base by not being off at an angle, starting sooner, and giving more ripples or committing to a solid frame instead. Unfortunately, not a vid, but one step forward for me today. Hey, this is really pretty. I definitely see, the goal. I see the animals. I'll say it. This is nice. It's just a photo though. It needs a little bit more openness in all the layers down here. I would just say try to get some more space between your layers, so movement, and also maybe start a little sooner, like I always say, because it looks like you have a very squished design. But generally also like swirl that milk a little more and swirl that espresso a little more. It looks a little crinkly. Just saying off the picture. I don't know. All right, copy. Let's see. Ooh, look at that grip. Look at that hand grip for the cup. The Discord link is expired again. Does it only give like an hour long? Because I have been updating it throughout the stream. If somebody will let me know down below if the Discord link is still messed up. The one that's in the description of this video. In the description. Let me know. Guys, thank you for all the donations. We made $35 off this chat. That's crazy. I appreciate the help, especially because, you know, these are technically free lessons. So yeah, super appreciative. I would love the support if you want to send it. If you don't, you don't have to, but I love that you guys do. That's very thankful. I think I'm creating the invite link. You can go to details and make it never expire. Okay, let's see if I can do that really quick. It takes 2 seconds. Let me see if I can do it. Don't leave. Invite people. Oh, you're so right. Copy. Great. Thank you. Silly me. Let's make that. We'll fix it right now, guys. So the Discord link is now updated. Wait, why didn't it work? Should work now. Let me know. Oh, the one on my YouTube profile is expired. Sorry. That might not even be this. That might be a completely different thing. half of the donations will go to Trump's tariffs, to be honest. I'm not here to get political, but, coffee gets expensive. I saw a bag of coffee the other day. It's not one I would ever use for latte art, but it was like a top shelf coffee at a local roastery. And it was normally like a $30 bag of coffee. It was like $50. I know you're kidding. I'm just saying. I don't know that I'm not going to get political on stream. I just mean to say that coffee is, and it's a good thing. It should be more expensive. We should be paying more. I'm just saying, yes, it does get more expensive. So, yes, do donate to the channel, Absolutely, it does. Let me see. Let's keep going. I'm happy to pay it, though. I buy big bags of coffee when I do, latte art and stuff, so. Okay, let's go. Let's get it going. Let's keep going. Okay. Beautiful base. Oh, interesting. Wait a minute. Some of the things I wouldn't do but also would do are going on in this base. Let's see. Not bad. A little all over the place, with the shape of the base, but really beautiful. What I call salmon lines, when the wing kind of comes back in on itself, kind of looks like salmon, the lines on a salmon. Just call them salmon lines. Your base goes a little far back. I actually really love how many lines you put into your base. You spent a lot of time on it. This is what I was saying earlier, is that you can spend as much time as you want on a base. Look. You can go short or you can go long. In this case, this person goes long. They do that drift base in and they just keep going. They kind of paused there for a second, but then they kept going. And then the movement forward was what zipped it up, as well as those ripples. The only thing is, you started so high for that. And not so high. You started just a little high for that. And then you just have so much you're giving, and your milk is not holding it. That means your milk is a little thin. Just a little thin. It looks like it's the right texture to make lines, but you're flowing with look how thick you're flowing. Look how much flow there is there. That is warping your back base. You can see that little flat line on the back wall on the top of your pore. That's what happens when you either start your base too soon, or it's too much flow, or that last person where you kind of stuck it and then you pushed through it. Or it can happen when you start too high and you kind of have to throw your base to the back. Or it can just happen if you're overfilling it too much or with thin milk. It can happen for a lot of reasons. Your case, I think, is just slightly thinner milk and you kind of pushed through a lot of it. You could have, everything looks like it's just flowing a little too well for you here. I would say that maybe your milk is a little on the thinner side. Maybe. Just a little bit. See, it didn't really whip there. It could have moved a little better. I do like your second layer because it wraps the base up a little bit, which makes those salmon lines really pop. That being said, you should have pushed it in either closer and deeper to make it wrap more consistently. See how it's asymmetrically wrapped? I mean, they look symmetrical, but one side's just more heavy because the base is off center. But you could have kind of fixed that a little bit with a deeper push, held it a little longer. Or you don't have to wrap it all and you could have come higher and not done that. Let me think. That layer, you should have held it longer and then cut up into it so that it had more of a shape. That layer's good. That layer's fine, but you are pushing in now at the wrong angle. But let's talk about the layer for a second. Did you notice how you got a little bit more brown before that last layer than you did in the one right prior to it? So look, you have your first layer. Hold it longer here. Don't cut up so soon. Hold it longer. Get in deeper with that spout, then cut up, create that crescent. Then you get some brown, good. But here you get more brown because of the angle that you're doing this next layer in versus the last one where you kind of the last one you started high and kind of poured in while dipping into the cup. This next one you kind of pour from an angle above, not dipping into the cup. And so some of your foam's sinking, which is creating a little bit more distance between those layers because that foam would have normally been closer if you had landed a little differently. It's so subtle. It's also just possible you were a little higher, but I think it's more the angle too. And you do hold that longer, which is nice. Oh, you're gonna do another one. That one was better. See, that last one was more consistent with the one prior. And I do like that you pushed in and then immediately cut. This is really pretty. Again, this whole sake of this is for me to be critical. So if I'm being a little critical on you, it's because that's what it's for. But because you were kind of because your milk's a little thin, and because your top parts are so long and separated and they don't all kind of wrap together, that last one when you pushed in got dragged into your stream, and you can see now your top parts are kind of they have a V-neck, and they're pointy at the top, which is not ideal. It got kind of dry. Look. You're shaping them one very dramatically with that last push. And then you do this next one. And then like, I guess maybe that's not what it is. Maybe it's just the way you're pushing it is making it. Yeah, it's because you're pushing it's because you're pushing the third layer and the last layer so deep that it's shaping everything so much more forward up because you're pushing it away from its original location. So like, it's kind of like that base earlier, like you set the base down and then you push through it, you're going to kind of warp it. That's what I would say you're doing here. It's still really pretty and probably one of the better wings we've seen today. I'm just saying, if you want to update it, that's what I would do. Roasted. Consider yourself roasted. Yeah, everything kind of fell to the bottom of the cup and everything's a little asymmetry, but it's really beautiful flow. Just work on where you land, work on that symmetry, work on those ripples, and work on how you push them forward. Let's keep going. Let's do just a couple more. Maybe we should get to 3 hours and we'll stop. How about that? Is 3 good? 3 good, and then I got responsibilities I gotta go do. Yeah, we'll do 20 more minutes. We have done, I think this has been a really, really successful live stream so far. Never done anything this long or this intensive or this live. Okay, let's keep going. How are we doing, chat? Nobody's spoken in the last 5 minutes, as long as you wish. Hey, I'm meaning to ask, are you coming to Portland? I want to go to Portland, but Portland is very expensive, and the tickets to Portland are like $300, $400. I was like gonna go, but there's no reason for me to go, technically. And if there's no reason, and the tickets are so expensive, I guess technically it's a business expense if I go there and film and make business things out of it, but like I love Portland. I love to visit Portland. I want to visit Portland. I just don't know that I'm going to be able to. Trying to save money for my personal medical expenses. If anybody wants, I have medical expenses in that your girl's trans, and so I have like all my like medical like surgeries and things coming up and all that other stuff that we're saving for. I have a GoFundMe in my Instagram link in bio on Instagram. If you guys want to go donate to that, it's very thoughtful if you do. But yeah, so like I'm trying not to spend too much money. And yeah, I'm just trying to be more conscious of that, you know. It's easy to go. Last year I did so much travel and I don't think I got burnt out of it. It's just, it's expensive and it gets exhausting. And yes, some of it gets deducted in taxes when it's necessary, but yeah. It's expensive. I'm just one person. Did we almost skip a pour? We almost skipped a pour. We're not going to do all 3. So let's just do a quick, I do like affogatos. I love them so much. They're one of my favorite things to make in coffee. I think they're delicious. They make the darkest, dankest roasts taste delicious, and I love it. That one you're not... Okay, let's just speed run through a couple of these because I don't want to I want to work on these, but you have 3, so we're not going to do all 3. Let's see which ones are the best. A little out of focus. So you did a Swan. That one's your best video so far. Ooh. Okay, we'll do that one and we'll do the first one. Crazy cups. Wild cups. The fact that your cups match your picture is wild. Your milk looks a little thin. I don't love those spouts, but I also won't ding it. It looks like your milk's a little thin. Whoops. Hello. And you could get closer to the surface. You also I think you have too much milk in your... Maybe you don't. Let's just see. It just kind of looks like your angle is wrong. Oh, you went to Cafe Conmigo. I can't speak. Conmigo. It's so good. Dude, the affogato there is so good. You met Pepe. Oh, man. That place is so great. That place is nostalgic for me now. So look, you're pouring way too heavy. And you're... oh, thank you, Zaya. That's really sweet of you. Maybe I'll get to your pour one day. But I'll see you. I will see you before you move. Anyway, sorry. You're pouring really heavy in this pour and you're not close enough to the surface. So you're not seeing anything appear until the surface meets where you are. Do you see how that's happening? And then right here, your ripples could just be more consistent. I would just say practice with water. Like ripples are one of those things I like to, when I'm teaching ripples, tell people to start with a really rounded spout. So like take take a pitcher, whatever it is, a cup, your pitcher here would work great, and pour in some water into a bucket or into the sink or into another pitcher from the side, and really focus on making those ripples wide like that. Because then later, it's all about the movement. It's about this movement of maintaining the wave. Because if you're just trying to like do it, it's not consistent. See, but if you're like trying to do it every once in a while, you maintain the wave. Then when you come back here, it's easier to do it when it's tighter like that. See? And so I just recommend that you practice your ripples before you do this swan a little bit the next time before you do it with some water, and just try to see if you can get it as consistent as possible, like a metronome. Like practice to the sound of a beat if you have to. But I really do love, yes, the wave master. Yeah, it's true. I really do love that you're doing a swan. Like you're doing 3 different swans, and your third one was your best one, but your milk texture is a little weird here. I think it's a little thin, and also too much foam is on top. It's like crunchy foam. Like you didn't, your foam didn't get mixed up well enough or tapped out enough here. See, it's all kind of crunchy. It's a little thin. So your espresso kind of overtook your foam. I would just see all those bubbles. I'd say tap your foam a little more. And try to get tighter bubbles when you're injecting. Try to make them really, really tight. That way there aren't that many big bubbles to begin with. And your foam will be more creamy. It'll flow better. You'll like the way it looks. You're going to like the way you look. However, this is your best base. You got closer to the surface sooner. You did a ton of ripples. It looks really good. It's a little too far back, but it is really nice. Can you always hear my voice is going out? It's like definitely lower than it started. It hurts. I've just been talking forever. Next layer is pretty good. Still focus on those ripples. It's amazing actually how you have like perfect ripples in your base here. But then your ripples in your neck or the wing of your swan could be a little better. I don't really have any advice other than please practice that. Your neck down is really nice, and the neck sideways is good, but you want to go more up instead of to the side. It's going to make your swan, I think, shape a little better. This is technically an aesthetic. You also ran out of milk that time. Oh no, that's okay. It's a really pretty swan. I think this is your better one. Just focus on that texture a little bit. Try to get closer to that surface, and then practice ripples with water. That's your move. That's your move. Word. That's it. That's funny. You said the first video was so smooth and it was my video. That's funny. Okay. Oh man. Wow. Somebody donated. It was Zaya. That's right. I forgot. I think I can make it 15 more minutes doing this. I think I can do that. I think I can do it. If we streamed every day, I would just fall apart. There's my kitty. Come here, baby. Come here. Come here. Come here. Clement. Come on. Come on. Y'all ready? Kitty cat. Clementine, say hi. She loves me. Look at that little smile. 24-hour live stream. We could do that. No. Yeah. She's a little shoulder cat. She's chilling right now, but normally she likes to hang out up here on my shoulder. Her name's Clementine, for anybody who doesn't know. She looks mad. I think she looks happy. Look at her. Now she's probably pissed. Now she's pissed. Watch this. She loves this shit. She hates this. Oh, please don't hit me. Upside down clown. Gotta get out of here. She'll figure herself out. See yourself out, Clem. See yourself out. She has white shoes. Her sister also has white shoes. Little socks. Little socks. Okay, I love you, baby. Okay. No, enough playing with the little cat. Oh my goodness. Enough of that. Enough of it. Back to it. Snap back to reality. Whoops, there goes Emilee. All right. Let's do this one. This mocha pour, it looks like. Mocha pour. Mocha pours are kind of tricky because they tend to slide around really easily. And you did fill up the cup a lot here. Your wide angle lens is wild. But they do slide around a lot, so maybe that was for the better here. Another swan. I would say take I'm not going to give you too much advice because it's a mocha pour. It's a very specific kind of thing to pour into. That being said, you have really beautiful leaves. Not leaves. technically, you have really beautiful, oh, there's people outside. You have really beautiful wing here for the swan's wing, like the swan's actual wing. The actual wing that the swan's living in, like the thing that, the wing that is the precursor to the actual wing is a little underdeveloped. You could have started a little sooner. But it is really pretty. Is my cat up to something back there? What's she doing? She's gonna knock something over, I bet you. If you guys hear a bang, that's what she did. The feathers, thank you. Feathers, great way to say that. The feathers look great. The wing could be more developed, starting a little sooner. You can also not rush the neck, though I do like the shape of the neck. I just think it should be longer. I think you should pull the neck up more, and then do that really pretty swan heart head that you did. I just think it's really pretty. I just think that you, I think you just stop prematurely. I think you should go back further, and it would look really cool. That's an aesthetic. It's a personal aesthetic. No, you're not the only person who makes hearts, Dan. I'm sure there's other people that make hearts. This is really pretty. I don't really know if I have much to work on other than start a little sooner. Maybe start right about there and not all that way. Don't fill it up so much. And then you can just take your time with a slower flow and you won't have to push as much. And then you can really develop that base. Though that being said, this is really pretty. Really pretty. Definitely pretty. Easier to like kind of pinpoint because it's just kind of like you're already doing such a good job. Just open it up a little bit more and fill in that base a little bit more. Interesting. I don't poop poop pee pee. Poop poop pee pee. Nice name. That's good. Poo poo pee pee. This is the name of the stream, is going to be called Poo Poo Pee Pee. Very good integration, but a weird integration. I've never really seen someone, I think, move the cup. I've thought about this before. Like if you took latte art and you had poured a straight stream, but you moved the cup, can you create ripples? I don't think you can. I think the ripple ripples are the effect of that wave, that oscillation, which thins out the foam and then kind of leaves behind a thinner hollow section where there's a forward flow, which creates that curl in the color, right? That sounds like gibberish. If it's moving away from you, it creates color. And then when you slide it up to the sides, it thins out the foam a little bit, but it kind of folds in on itself. It folds, sorry. It's going to do this. It does this pattern, up and then back down. So when you go up and you're in that corner of the ripple, let's say you're the wave and you have come up here, then you come back, and up here, then you come back. Every time you come back, you are creating the leaf, right? The little like the stick. Not the stick, the leaf, the feathers, whatever. You're creating that. And so actually what you're doing, so that's why you see that the feathers are, the little tips of them tend to be thicker because there's this beat, a moment before it comes back down through gravity. Ripple, gravity. Ripple, gravity. That beat, you'll see, is where you have the thickness in the edges of your wings. Not wings, leaves. Why am I saying that? Oh, I was just kind of rambling about why you can't do that with the cup. Sorry. Back to the pore. Interesting integration, going in a circle. I mean, it doesn't hurt. I don't see why it would be a problem. But then see, you have that current so that you see that. Look. This is what people ask me this. I always ask, or they always say, why don't you do the circle? Because look, when you've created this circle, look at that. See that? That's like a Milky Way galaxy spinning. Look at that. And then when you lay it down, does it get caught up in that spin? It kind of does for a second, but also your milk is thin. If your milk wasn't as thin, it probably still would get kind of caught up by that stream. So maybe don't integrate with such an aggressive stream. Just try to be a little bit like less flowy with that. Yeah, you could do a slow zeta by moving the cup only. I've done that before, but you can't really do ripples, I don't think. No. I would say start a little sooner. See how you don't really get much to appear until you get really close to the cup, but also your milk's kind of thin. I would say work on your milk texture first. Your ripples are actually really solid. Look at that. You have a really solid technique when it comes to rippling. Your swan's neck is awesome. Pause. I wish you will cut through the face downward rather than sideways. It looks like you're going to cut sideways. I wish you would have cut downward. It would look really magnificent if you had like tilted that last heart down towards the bottom of the swan and not to the side of the swan. I just think that would look really cool. This is a really interesting shape though. Love the flowiness. Your milk's just a little thin. And maybe you're doing that on purpose, that swirl, to get it to kind of lean towards one side. Is that intentional, that little like drift that you did, or is that not intentional? I also do think that you should push the neck all the way down and not just halfway down, or be more symmetrical with your Rosetta so that this right side doesn't have so many missing layers and it looks like the neck is just kind of sitting there above this one frame that you have. Do you see that frame? And there's like the missing layers next to it. You don't have to have that. You could have filled that in by just being by that swirl not happening, and then your milk being a little thicker and you staying more symmetrical in the very beginning. See, that's where it happened. And then you start to drift to the side, which is totally fine. But if we had started symmetrical, then the bottom would look better, and then it does in the end. Those wings, these are the best ripple wings we've seen all day for the swans. These are really good. Super great pacing. You're pulling back at just the right pace. You could like push that in a little quicker and go a little further down. Beautiful neck. Kind of interesting thing going on up there, but still beautiful. Let's leave this one. Good job. Good job. Good job. Kind of sounded like Pee Wee Herman. Good job. You know, something like that. Oh no, you can't make latte art under pressure. Oh no. That one's pretty. So many swans, y'all. So many swans. Swans. These are all photos. Okay. What time is it? We might have time for like a few more. Teach me how to wiggle. No. Actually, maybe I will. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. That's like manifestation, right? That's pretty. Okay, integrate. Looks like you might have too much milk already, but it's okay. We'll see. Hey, pretty nice. You want me to talk about teach you how to wiggle. The first thing I would say is that you stopped wiggling early. I do think you're pouring a little heavy. I think you might have too much milk in your pitcher. I'll be doing these lives all the time, by the way, Katniss. I think you're pouring a little heavy, but really you could have done like 3, 4, 5 more ripples and it would have filled in your base more. Where this solid layer is in your base could have been ripples, right? And I would say hold your layers a little longer. Take your time. You don't have to rush through your latte art. Your milk is a little on the thicker side and you have a little too much for it. Thank you for the sips. Thank you for the little sip. But just, I like these stacked, sorry, not stacks. These are stacks. I like these stacked tulips, the simple tulips design, but you could have a little bit more wing in your wing by rippling more often, like add more ripples. Just do it. Just keep rippling. So what I would say is slow down. And again, like I said earlier, practice with water and just try to get that oscillation to be as consistent as possible and try to get 3, 4, 5, 6. And each time you get one more for a pour, try to add another one the next time you pour. Do you know what I'm saying? So like try to up it each time. Be like, oh, last time, until you get to a certain point. Last time I did like 4 ripples. Now I want to do 10 ripples. No, now I want to do 5 and then 6 and then 7 and then stop wherever you think fits for your cup, your flow, your vibe, your pitcher, your spout, all that stuff. Like it's all personal at the end of the day. This is really pretty. You could focus on slowing down for those stacked tulip sections, especially because they're a little asymmetrical. But you have the time to do that if you want to. You can take the time. Interesting. Oh, my hair's dry. Yeah, somebody was outside without a shirt on. Not a problem. Just interesting. Yeah, we'll be doing these all the time. Very good pour though. Very good pour, Lindsay. Just try to ripple. You have some ripples. This is good. This is really good. You just need to get more consistent with them. Practice them. It's the rhythm and stay calm. This is exactly right. Rhythm and stay calm. Correct. Rhythm. I think we have time for one more. Chat, how are we doing? Everybody hit the like button if you haven't already and tell me how you're doing in the chat if you haven't already, because I love you guys and this is a community and we need you. We need you. Woof, 3 hours of non-stop talking. Let's do one more. We're trying to work on better bases. This is the most recent one. I feel stuck when I'm just about to complete the base, and also I think I'm pouring a bit fast. I believe in the live stream format too. Ooh, that's really nice. Wait, I want to read what you said. You said you did wrong. First of all, those layers need to be cut up and forward after this. Okay, Joey, we'll do yours after since you're right after. Don't worry. Don't freak out. It's okay. I got you. I'll do one more. We'll go over 3 hours. It's okay. and we may not even, trying to work on better bases. This is the most recent one. I feel stuck when I'm just about to complete the base, and also I think I'm pouring. You feel stuck. Like you feel like your picture kind of sticks, or what do you mean? Let's see. Oh, this little section at the bottom that's like kind of blobby and white. It's because you're not, you could ripple more there. Those should be ripples. Ow, hello. Oh, God. She came up to me. She wanted to be up here. Ow. She was like clawing at me. Oh, gosh. If you want to go, just go. Why did you even come up here? Sorry. Been sleepy? Yeah, dude, I've been sleeping in late a lot lately, and it's been really messing up my days. I also agree with that. It's not easy. The second kitty's name is Dahlia, but she's somewhere around here. I don't know where she is. She's a little tuxedo. Okay. This pore. Let's see. So you said you want to work on your base. You feel like something stopped. That little blob of white in the middle, if that's what you're referring to, is because you stopped rippling when you could have kept rippling. And there was just like a beat of you pouring forward without ripples that causes that. It causes it's just like a layer, you know, you're just pouring forward without the ripples. You need more ripples. Every motion you do when you're closing up a base should be a ripple when you're closing up the base. Ripple, 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 close it up. You know what I'm saying? So that doesn't happen. Your base is also a little high in the cup. I would say you could start a little deeper. You start with such a heavy flow. Try to do that thing I was saying earlier. Try to do that thing where you land backwards, let a little milk come out, and then push it out of your way just a little bit. So you wouldn't land so high up. You do land backwards here, but try to do that a little deeper, and maybe try to start a little sooner. I say that for everybody, but it's true. See how your base is kind of getting kind of choked up here. It's not really moving away from your pitcher. You're all the way up here in the cup, whereas you kind of want to be a little deeper. You'd really at this point want your pitcher's spout to be kind of like right in front of where your thumb is, not to the side, but like if your thumb drew a straight line down, I would kind of want your pitcher spout to be a little deeper at this point. So you'd want to have started maybe like a ½ inch deeper, maybe a centimeter or two. I don't know. Maybe not that much, but like a little deeper for sure. And your forward ripples are great. You just have this one that you don't do at the end. You could do like 2 more that would zip that up. And then the second layer is pretty good. Third layer is okay. For these though, what I would say is, oh, Jess, thank you so much for the donation. That's very kind of you. Thank you. I sincerely appreciate that. Thank you. Are you in this? Because like, are you next? Is that, who said that? Who said they were next? I missed that. Who was that? Is the base's thickness also varied by the initial pour speed? Kind of. It varies. Oh, it was Joey. Sorry. I had Jess and Joey. My brain broke. It varies because like it varies for a million different reasons. When you start is going to determine how flowy it is. So like if you integrate less, you have a more gooey base to pour with, so it'll flow away from you more. But you can also hit the back wall more easily. So you have to flow lighter. Right? If you land at the top when you're doing like a push base, you can hold it longer before you throw it to the back, but you're going to get a thicker frame, right? And you're going to use a little more milk to do that. So you have to start sooner. And there's all these like give and takes and caveats. So like it's very case by case, base by base, you know? So, but in this case, I would say push this base a little further back. Now these layers right here, these layers could be scooped up a little more and pushed in a little tighter. So instead of getting so much distance, actually, that was a pretty good distance. I would just say push it deeper. You kind of stopped early, and then you kind of like pulled back on the pitcher rather than cutting up and through, which creates that crescent. Joey, don't be sad. We're gonna do your pour. Don't worry. Yeah, and then at the end, you just kind of like good cut through, good top heart. You know, could be a little bit more settled in, but I actually like the top heart a lot. Base needs to be further back. That'll help everything stretch more. You'll have to start sooner to do that, which is going to give you more room. I feel like the same advice, like 90% of what you guys are doing that could be fixed, is starting sooner when it's more like fluid, and then just like flowing a little lighter and really filling in those base by base. Yeah. Filling in those bases. These subsequent layers should be easy layers because they are just scooped layers. They should land, push, scoop, land, push, scoop, push it deeper. If you want it to fully wrap, and see how it's not on this one. Yeah. Anyway, it is still pretty. You should still be proud. I'm just saying that like, if you want to make this like fit better, not be like kind of oblong in the cup, sit better, Your milk also looks like a little thinner too. Like it looks like it's not flowing around very easily. But yeah, deeper in the cup. Joey waited so patiently. Could you imagine if we got this far? Joey, you sent 2? I don't know. We'll just watch this one. Pitcher, white. Cup, white, with bird on it. Coffee from a bag. I bought it. I know I messed up the top stack. Don't hurt me. Ooh, what are you listening to? Oh, cool. Hold on. Here we go. Nice integration. Fantastic. Nice. I loved that. We'll keep talking about it in a second. Give me 1 second. Nice. Okay. Okay. You don't want me to talk about the top stacks? I can talk about them. Let's go back because there's a couple things going on here that I really love and a couple things I want you to get I want you to focus on as like a homework. First of all, you don't have to do that like center integration thing that I do. You do it great. Don't change the thing. Perfect. Stopped exactly when you should. You do start a little high in the cup. I think you'll be happier if you start right around where see where the like layer is right here? You see where that white is? Put your spout there. You'll have to pour gentler for the initial push, the initial slow part. But put your spout like a little deeper. Like maybe like right there. Like start your spout like right there. Not the spout I'm showing you in this image. I'm saying where the white part is should be where your spout is at this point. You should be a little deeper. Then you won't have to do that. Like, see how you're pushing and it's getting kind of beige before you do your slow to fast ripple, which I love that design. You want that beige, like you should be, this beige base shouldn't be beige. It should be not, that should not be beige. That's another way of saying it shouldn't be beige. But it should be further back. You should just be starting a little further back. That's a great flow rate. Don't be afraid to, when you do start further back, go more dramatic with the side to sides. Do really over dramatic side to side motions, and then do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then on 5 speed up and do your ripples and try to stay in that little pocket in between those really big exaggerations. You have a better submission later? Okay, well, we'll see. So you can also do a few more ripples in this slow to fast ripple base. Don't be, because you kind of did an asymmetrical amount. So look, you did push 1, 2, 3 ripple. You're doing 3 ripple rather than 4, which is going to give you an asymmetrical kind of look to your base. I think you could actually, technically the way you landed worked out in your favor, but you could do more side to side slows before you speed up. And then also speed up more. Like, don't be afraid to fill in that base a little more. The fact that you're going to be moving it deeper in the cup moving forward, if you listen to my advice, means you'll have more space. When you go wide, ripple, you're creating all this open space that you're then going to fill in with tiny little lines. It's going to look awesome. In fact, the slow to fast base is one of the ones that really helped me define the way I like to pour now. A lot of the earlier pours that I got good at, I learned by kind of learning that style. Second layer is good. You don't need to just land and wiggle to the side. You need to be pouring movement forward. You are, whoops, sorry y'all, let me go back. You are kind of doing that, like here, we'll go right here. You are moving the pitcher forward, but you need to be moving a little more forward. Also, if you started a little sooner in your integration, which no, you don't need to start sooner. If you start further back, you won't have to pour as heavy, meaning you'll have saved space with your milk. So there's a chance you'd be able to whip this layer a little harder. Now, I don't know. That's like speculation based on like what I'm seeing. Like you still have room. You could have whipped that layer harder, got more color, and pushed it in deeper. You don't have to. But like if I were to adjust this base and start further back, I would be able to save milk by going slower, getting more the look of flow without having to flow as heavy. Fill it in, get all that fine detail, and then like come in and really whip the second layer. It'll look really cool. I think that's what I would correct if it were me. And these top parts, like you just need to like hold them and push in and up, right? Hold them, push in and up, hold them, push in and up, and you'll get the shape right. So you said this was not your best one. Let's see the next one and then we'll end it there. Man, we are crushing. We are crushing though. 3 hours of nonstop. Dude, my voice hurts. This is not bad, honestly. Is this the better submission? Okay, let's see it. That was loud. Sorry, y'all. Great integration. Wait, this might be the same one. This is the same one. Joey, I don't know if I can go all the way to the new one. Is this your new one? Yeah, this is your new one. Wait, what is this? No. Oh, you did spill. That's so funny. Everybody was like dogging on you for maybe spilling. It looks like you did. But it's got a cover over it, right? You have a cover over. Yeah, you have a cover. Joey, let's see. Are you in here anymore? Let's just see where you're at now that we're here. How far down? Like, really far? Or is it easy to get to? Hi, Clem. We'll do this again for everybody too. So don't worry. We'll do more. I passed it. Joey. You son gun. What's your screen name? Joey, right? Just Joey? Oh. Okay. Better pour, worse angle. That's better. I still think you can slow down a little. So like your flow rate's really fast for those. The first slows should have that flow rate. But then after you kind of get them initiated and you start a little further back and then you start. Why did I delete my first post? I thought we could only have. Oh, no, you can have as many videos as you want. You can go back and repost it. It's fine. Anyway, you start heavy. That's good. Get it out of the way. But you won't have to be as heavy if you're working further back in the cup. But at the same time, then you start to go kind of even heavier side to side. You can slow those down a little bit. And you'll get more defined lines. Keep them heavy, but not as heavy. And then I really can't see the rest of your pour. But that is better. That is better. You definitely did, I think, a better job there. I really like this one. I love the flow. I love the use of flow. I'm just saying, like, don't be afraid to, like, once you switch to the fast, too, kind of, like, stop and just wiggle in the center really quick. Like, whenever you're doing the side to side, it's kind of a mental shift. It's like side, 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 push to start the ripple, 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 but you're not moving past the middle at that point because you're staying in the middle to fill in the ripples. It's a fun feeling once you get it down. Guys, I think that is it. I think that we have gotten to a place where we did like 10, 15, however many. I'll make sure to put the number in the recap if I do that again eventually. Pours. We went for 3 hours and 8 minutes. Holy moly. We got to see the Clementine, the cat. We got to hang out. And guys, you donated $60 to us. That's crazy. That's like really helpful for the channel. Honestly, like that was wild helpful for the channel. This channel barely makes like 200 sometimes. It's crazy how bad this channel does not bring in money being an entertainment coffee channel. So don't be afraid to subscribe to the Patreon. Anyway, this was so much fun. Jose, don't be worrying. We will come back and we will do another one. I just can't sit here all day and be like, oh, someone's right next, someone's next, someone's next. You know, we're all next. We'll do this again. Maybe we'll do it tomorrow, or maybe we'll do it. No, we can't do it tomorrow because I'm out of town, but we'll be doing it in a few days when I get back. Okay? Look, I love you guys so much. I hope that you've enjoyed this. I'm going to pray that this saves because I don't know how to save this, but I think it's just going to save on its own. And yeah, bye guys.